On this episode of More Tech Solutions, we're going to do a Compaq diagnosis and see what's wrong with this Compaq computer and what we can do to make it run again. If it'll run again. Show them the dirt on there.
Wow, that thing looks sorry, man. Wow, is Compaq even around anymore?
No, I think they got bought out by HP because there's the HP Compaq line of computers.
Is that what happened?
They were using it as like a model name for a while.
So
That's what I guess.
What
Yeah.
operating system is this running?
Well, it states Windows 98 and a Pentium 2.
And who still uses Windows 98?
Nerds. Anyway.
Okay. Do you use it?
If I need to for a customer, yeah.
But you realistically, like, you have customers who actually would buy
through
this,
eBay and other sources, yes.
and they like the
Not many people locally need it, but overall in the United States, people do still need these types of computers.
right, and they basically like the old nostalgic aesthetics of it, right?
Yeah.
Is that basically what we're talking about?
Sort of, yeah. It might have been their first computer, or it may have been they need something to run old software. A lot of times it's old software in games.
Right. What kind of like software do you usually come across, if you don't mind?
I don't really focus on the software. I focus on getting the computer functional, and then because there's so many different softwares out there, I just try to make it functional for any use.
Right. Okay.
So if we look on the back here, just to give an idea of the computer, we have some sort of weird port there. I don't know what that is. Then VGA, printer parallel, PS2, and then onboard audio. And there's your power supply with the connector falling out of it. That's interesting. I don't know why there's a gap there. We'll figure that out, I guess. Maybe it's loose or something. We have a modem card and an internet card. I may remove both of these just because with such an old computer, you can easily get a virus, even if you're even able to connect it to the internet, you know?
Right.
With it being so old. So I think we should start off, the first thing I usually do with these computers is, before I do anything, I unplug the power supply and test it by itself, so that it doesn't short out, if I'm able to.
Right.
Sometimes you're not able to, depending on a couple different factors that we'll get into.
So
If it's a standard pin out, if there's a way that you could test it, that's the wrong side.
right. So basically, like, the power supply is your first like order of command thing. You're kind of like just.
Well,
looking
because
for
if
that.
it fails, it can kill everything.
Right. Right.
So, that's the smartest way to go about it. If you're just like, hey, will it run? It's like, hey, will it work? Then you just turn it on, and maybe you get lucky, maybe you don't. So, I mean, we could do that too. It's more entertaining, but realistically, it's not smart.
Man, come on, Mike. We're always entertaining.
Well, yeah. Well, this is less entertaining. You're still getting to see the computer for the first time. I've never opened this computer before.
Yeah, I mean,
on the front, I noticed that it had, before I open it, it has a zip drive. It seems like a zip disk in there. I've never messed with that, so that'd be cool to see if that works. With the matching bezel around it, which is nice.
Right.
Dirty. And then floppy disk, power button, and then 2 USB ports and a game port.
Oh, they got that on the front there. I see. Okay.
The little door.
Oh,
Everything's in good shape. It's got a few scuffs on it, but we'll get those buffed out.
Right.
Dust got all over my hand. Yeah, this thing's nasty, but I wanted to give you guys the big reveal on the back here. So we got the last screw here.
Right.
And if this works well, we're going to do a full refurb on it.
Cool.
Take it all the way apart and put it all the way back together. Depending on how bad dirty it is. If it's not that dirty, we may not take it fully apart. Depends on the level of dirt and how much care it needs.
By the way, guys, I know that there's a lot of fans of these beige, nostalgic, aesthetic computers flying around the United States. I just wanted to say that, but you know, I like to ask Mike questions that I already know the answers to, because if you're watching this first time, sometimes it can get a little crazy. That's all. You know what I'm talking about, Mike.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. So he's opening it up. We're looking for the power supply, right?
Well, first off, we're going to see what condition the computer's in and what's currently in it before we take it apart. Wow, that's dirty.
All right.
So I'll put this out of our way. So this was built in May 30th of 1998.
Wow.
And People's Republic of China, I'm assuming that's what the PRC stands for. So we have our power supply right here. Yeah, it's pretty dirty in here. I probably will take this thing fully apart. It looks like we had the original hard drive, a Quantum Bigfoot.
Ooh.
It's a drive that's the size of a like regular DVD drive.
Right.
Computer. Look how big that thing is. That's a hard drive.
Wow, that is a huge hard drive. Probably one of the biggest
They don't make
I've
them like
ever
that
seen.
anymore.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's dusty. I can smell it.
Definitely not.
So I mean, yeah, the safest thing to do would be to unplug everything from power, and then take it all apart, test out every component, then put it back together. Or at least, in this case, I'm just going to test to see what happens if I turn it on after I test the power supply. So,
Right.
this connector's really stuck, pardon me. Technical difficulty there. After sitting for 20 plus years, I think these connectors sometimes get stuck.
Right.
I was going to use some pliers to help edge them out. You know, I'll get some pliers. Something I can just grab it with. You just gotta be careful you don't damage anything, obviously, but...
So, Mike, just tell us real quick, like, your passion for this. Like, what motivates you to keep helping people out and fixing these old computers that are a little, maybe less popular?
Well, they are very popular still, and I don't think technology like this should be thrown away, because one day when it's going to be really valuable, there's not going to be much of it left. So
right. So this,
anything I could save would be good.
So you consider it kind of like a vintage item, as I do. When I was, I'm thinking about when they first made these. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And you had those big monitors.
These big tube monitors.
Yeah.
Insert a photo for us, will you?
Right. I don't know, man. I gotta see if I could find those.
Oh, they're all over the internet. Product of the USA.
Right.
Okay, is it made in the USA or maybe a mixed? It's like I know computers from the early '90s and '80s were built in the United States, but I think this might be made in China.
Right.
China.
Yeah, this is like beyond vintage. This is like primitive computer.
This is like 1998 minus 2025. You know.
Yeah. Wow.
So 27 years old computer.
Right.
Well, this 27-year-old Compaq.
And they're still flying around here.
They're still out there somewhere. You just gotta find them.
In the year 2025, we got the Michael Man going in for the power supply.
Oh, it's really stuck. Yeah, I think that's just a riveted brace, so that should come out. I think I might have to remove the floppy disk drive.
Yeah.
Move the power. This is in the way. Get some torque on there. There we go.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, the dust is going everywhere.
Here comes
okay,
dust.
give it to Matt. Give it to Matt.
Oh no. And see, guys, I don't talk that much behind the scenes, especially in our other videos, but when I really don't know about something, I gotta ask Mike questions, because, man, I haven't seen this type of machine in a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think we're dealing, you said before, we're dealing with a Pentium 2?
Yes.
Wow.
In particular, it looks like it's a socketed Pentium 2.
Wow.
I can't tell from here yet, though. Oh no, it's a card slot CPU. So it's a card Pentium 2. So there's our disgusting floppy drive.
Ooh.
Tasty, right?
Ooh.
Anyway, I love doing that to Matt because he always
But
and you guys, who's gonna be laughing when they see Matt going, "Oh no, get the you want some dust, Matt here."
Come on, man, allergies, man.
I'm walking out. Oh, get that on camera, huh?
Ooh.
Okay, anyway. You gotta get that really good raspy cough out of it. Alright, so the only two things... Oh, so this is... Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to test that. That is some weird stuff. That's not... I don't think that's regular... I don't think that's standard, do you? 3 different connectors?
I would assume that's proprietary.
I think that's proprietary power supply.
Yeah.
We might just turn this on and see what happens then.
Sure.
I mean, because that doesn't look like... I mean, I have my lovely charts here. Let's take a look. Well, this is a AT power supply. Black, white, 2 black, 1 white, and 3 red. Let's see. That's 3 red and 3 black. Yeah, or 3 orange and 3 black. That is not standard, so... There's red, green, and 2 black there. And then there's black, blue, yellow, purple, gray. Sorry, give me a second.
Yeah.
Red, orange, red, yellow, blue, gray, black, black. So that actually might be standard because there's 2 grays on the end there, like blackish gray, blacks on the black cables on the. So the cables, the colors might just be off. Now this is a true AT power supply. Then where's the power connector? Usually it's unless this case is motherboard controlled. So in this case, I'm just going to turn it on and then measure the voltages. Okay?
See, guys, this computer even has Mike asking questions.
Well, it's not a standard power supply. If I had to guess, it'd probably be, I might have saved a file on my computer. This is like a Compaq specific power supply.
Hmm.
Well, I guess we'll turn it on and see what it does then, because I mean, I've never seen a computer actually blow up power supply, so I'm not really worried about it. I'd like to see what it does before I take it all apart and clean it. You know?
Yeah.
I was originally going to take it all apart. Oh, yeah, you see this connector's bent? Is that on purpose? Or oh, no, the power supply's bent in. That's interesting. The whole case.
Ooh.
You see how that's all like...
Yeah.
So we're going to have to take that apart eventually, after we discharge it, or at least let it sit for a while so it's not going to shock the hell out of me. Though I know you guys probably laugh at that. I'm not looking to get shocked today, so...
We promote safety first here at
Oh,
Bortech.
it's on.
There we
Okay.
go.
So then what I'll do is I'll probe the connectors and make sure I see either 5 or 12 volts and that it's close to that voltage. So let me get my multimeter. I believe I have one here, yeah. So it'd be DC volts. And black's always going to be ground, so we're going to put the ground, or like negative. Sorry. So, and don't do this at home, please. But I'm going to pin multiple of the pins. So that's 5 volts, as we can see. It's right around 5 volts, not bad. Maybe 1 volt above. And then we'll just keep trying pins. So that's 5 volts, yep. If it's like 8 volts or something, we know it's out of range, you know. It's going to over voltage this thing.
Right.
That's nothing. That's 6 volts. Okay, not bad. A little high, but not anything to be too concerned about. That's nothing. Orange would be... I think there's going to be one that's going to be 3 volts. That's 15? Oh, wait. That should be 12 volts. That's a little high. But it keeps jumping. Let me see if I can get it to stay. I don't think it should be 15. Let me see. It'll tell you on my little sheet here. 12 volts. Yeah, it's supposed to be 12 volts. I've never seen 15 volts, so... That's a little high. Now it's around 12, 14. It keeps fluctuating. It's around 15. It's a little high, but these are hard to come by power supplies, so if they're doing their job in general, I wouldn't be too concerned with it. That's 6 volts. Okay, it's not too off. And then what is this extra power right here? Let's pin it. Let's probe it and see what it does. So the orange right here, we're going to take a look at. So that's 3 volts, 4 volts. It's around 5 volts. So that's probably a 5 volt line, and then the black cables or the gray cables going into it's probably nothing. Yeah, it's nothing. It's just neutral. Okay, so we see that the power supply might be a little bit over voltage, but not anything to be too concerned of. Right. It's not like, and if it was too much, it would have killed the computer already. So obviously, it's having trouble trying to boot here. So we're gonna take this apart and clean it before we run it anymore, because this needs to cool the CPU, and if it's has a big cake of dust on it, it's not going to do that. So we're going to vacuum all this off, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to shut this off. Let's see if the power button works. I don't think it's plugged in. Yeah, I know it is. Huh. Well, anyway, I know a surefire way to turn it off. All right, so I'm going to get my shirt all dirty, right? Okay, so let's unplug it. Let's take a picture of noting where the cables are, because there's no guides online for this. I am the guide. Picture of those, then wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Out.
Yes, I'll,
out. Out. Get our 3 cables out. There's our power supply. We're going to lay everything out, and then we're going to start cleaning. Let that sit for the longest time. And we're going to test every part individually, so we don't have to go through all the effort of unscrewing it, screwing it back in, and then it not working anyway.
Right, right.
So let's get some screw trays. As you can see, we have tons of our magnetic screw trays on our magnetic shelf here. So let's get a couple of these. Oh, and one thing, don't put this near a hard drive because it'll wipe whatever you have on there because it's a magnet. Probably. I never tried that, but I've heard that that's the case, so you always want to take extra precaution even with something that might be full of chlor. No, that probably isn't. All right, these 2 cards can go to the garbage because I don't need any internet on this computer. It's too old and it's too insecure to have.
That's a pretty bold statement. I don't need any internet on this computer.
Well, yeah, if you're just using it for old software, people have asked me, can this thing connect to the internet? Like, this thing can't load a modern website. I don't know what you're trying to get out of it. Unless you're doing like network sharing of files, but why? Just put it on USB at that point.
Yeah.
For like something like this, this is a dumb idea to put to the internet if you have like personal files on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Netgear PCI Ethernet card. I guess I'll keep that. That's not bad, but it's not going back in here. And then this modem card's going straight to the trash because I don't need a modem card. Do you?
No, sir.
I don't want to hear, you know, like it's going to try to connect.
Right. And guys, you see Mike's passion, and that's why we got to get into it, because this passion never ends with him, and we just keep going full force. Right here. What are you doing now?
Taking out the excess stuff so we can take the motherboard out.
Okay.
And figure out where everything's connected so we can put it all back together when we're done.
Very
Because
nice.
we don't want to sell somebody a dusty computer. The
Right.
whole point of it going through the refurbishment process is that it's going to be clean and I'm going to be dirty.
Oh.
Jokes aside, yeah, this has to go. This will be properly recycled. This is actually an original Compaq Computer Corp modem card for phone and other stuff like that. Yep. Here's your little speaker that does that.
Right.
So recycle that. Sorry, the dust is getting to me. It's a little bit of dust, not too bad. I might put a dust mask on in a second if I can find one.
Oh, man, really?
Never mind. That wouldn't be good for filming anyway, would it?
Yeah.
Whoa,
I mean,
copper on the bottom
we'll
of
have
this.
we'll have to take a break for that, I think. Unless you wanted to take it outside, but
Not this late at night. I think
like-
my neighbors wouldn't like me if I was trying to blow out a computer in the middle of the night.
yeah.
Yeah, we weren't working hard for you late at night, see? So
That's pretty cool, though, man. Wow, that's a nice, like...
I think it's
there.
to make sure it doesn't short, because
That's
it's got
obviously-
plastic on the bottom.
Yeah, it's obviously copper.
Yeah, because the pins are there, so it's grounding out the back here, and then it's interesting.
That is interesting.
All right, let's keep taking this apart. So we're gonna take all of our stuff out of our way here, and we're gonna put it back on its side. Actually, no, we can take out the hard drive next, the Bigfoot. It's actually its name, Quantum Bigfoot.
Wow.
Quantum made hard drives, and they called this the Bigfoot because it's big. And for some reason, they thought that would be a smart idea to use Torx bits on here, but then different size Torx bits. So you gotta really have a good screwdriver set, or else you're done for.
Right.
I like all this dust floating around my face. It's really entertaining. I know Matt's just like trying not to gag on it.
So this is like quantum before the quantum that we have now in the 2025. Like, this is like
I
quantum.
never heard of. I don't think Quantum still makes hard drives, do they? I know
Uh,
Seagate and Western Digital still do, and Toshiba, but
Yeah, I just don't want to confuse our viewers. Like, you know,
they don't make hard drives anymore. As far as I know, I haven't seen anything.
I'm not sure.
They stopped in the '90s, I think. They got bought out or something.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting. So the motherboard's on a removable tray. That's held in with one screw. So I'll probably remove it from the tray with the tray. So this should just come out now, or not. Oh, the screws that are holding it are behind the tray. Wow, that's dumb. Okay. Well, I guess we're removing the motherboard first then. So we gotta remove our connectors, our serial connector right here, and then our connectors here. So I'm gonna take a picture of our layout here, just so I don't have to try to guess later. When you plug it in, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but...
Yeah, guys, I mean, if you're tuned in now, I'm sure we all know what a motherboard looks like. But just for the sake of you guys, I'll get a shot of that in there. Okay.
Oh, and all the tape that holds these together is going gooey, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sticky and the dust gets stuck to it. Oh, no. Oh, no. What are we going to do now, Matt?
I don't know, man. So you tell me.
Wash your hands. What else? It's not going to kill us to get a little dust on our hands.
Yeah.
See, more tech solutions here. We're not afraid you're getting a little dirty into the computer technology here. Alright. I think next we're going to pop this front cover off just so it's out of our way and we can clean it. Yeah, we're not just going to leave dust behind there. We're actually going to clean that.
Right.
We're very gingerly with our computer repairs here. We're very professionally careful. Oh, it's hard to grab from that thing. Sorry. So we're gonna find our two clips, pop them in carefully so we don't break anything. That one seems to already be broken, unless it's just loose. Might have to re-glue that one with some hot glue. I know Matt loves hot glue.
Definitely.
Matt loves when I use the hot glue on computers.
Hot glue saves the
think
world.
People think it's crazy, but I think hot glue has actually been used on computers for years.
See now. Hi guys, I'm Matt. I learn something new every job that we do. I think I learn something new almost every single time, and I'm not ashamed to say
yeah,
it.
that clip's broken, so we're gonna have to just reinforce it with some hot glue or some Zen Lita glue, which is used for smartphones.
Yeah, and guys, don't ever.
That's disgusting. As you can see, I'm getting all dusty here, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a dirty computer. But don't hesitate to buy it, because I mean, when I'm done with these computers, every computer gets dusty in its lifetime. You can't expect for a computer not to get dusty. What you need to expect is that something that you're buying should be in good condition when you buy it.
Right.
And I'm making sure that's not going to overheat in the future. Right now we're moving the motherboard tray next. You gotta have your expectations reasonable. Nobody's gonna keep a pristine 30-year-old computer. I mean, most likely it's gonna come from a refurbisher like myself.
Right.
Or someone's personal collection. Then you're gonna pay way more money than whatever you pay for them currently, which is like, I forget now. You gotta look at my eBay store. Link in on my website. Moretech.com. Pass me a tissue. My nose just got stuff in it.
Yeah, so anyways, I'm never afraid to ask Mike questions. I believe that information technology is part of learning every day as the technology moves.
Yeah, so there's 2 screws that hold this tray in. And then from there, we're going to take this whole thing apart. So this whole thing should just easily slide out. Toolless once you get the 2 screws out. So I think you just go... I think there might be more screws. Let me see. Sometimes more than what meets the eye. Ah, there we go. So you get the front out. There we go. And then the back goes out with it. And there's your whole motherboard. I mean, now you don't have to move it from this tray. It doesn't look like there's that much dust stuck behind it. You can see it's even clean in the back there. It's just all the stuff floating around in here. Alright, so we're just going to take the case down to its bare bones, every component. And then from there we'll test every individual component with our test bench over there. We got a custom case and we built it especially for testing old computer components. So I'm not going to send you something and then I have to receive it back because you have a bad DVD drive or something. And even then we have a 30-day warranty. We want to get it fixed for you even by sending you out a new DVD drive or installing you one if you're local. As you can actually see, look at the dust buildup. Wow, that's pretty crazy. You can see the difference.
Wow.
And when we turn on the vacuum, I'll have the audio edited down so it doesn't give you guys a crazy ear noise. Like, I'll have our professional editor, Matt, here, just like turn down the audio levels temporarily in the audio mixer just so that it'll be less loud. Right, Matt?
Sure.
Because otherwise it's going to be like, woo! You know, like the vacuum's going to be like crazy loud.
Yeah, I think I could always put some rock music in place of that, like, you know?
Yeah, because, I mean, nobody wants to hear... And then you can put, like, fast forward it a little bit so it doesn't... People don't have to, like, watch me vacuum for the next 20 minutes. Unless people like the ASMR of it.
Yeah, I mean... I'll just film, like, a little bit of it. I mean, I think we get the point.
And then we'll zoom through it.
Yeah. I mean, like...
Well, you should definitely film the whole thing, but like, make it like a time-lapse. Oh, especially look at the front of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a beard, dude. Well, it's 27. I mean, I think most 27-year-olds have beards, right? Unlike us basement dwellers. But anyway. Jokes aside, let's get vacuuming.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Thank the action shot. There you go.
well, that was pretty quick.
I'm not done yet. We still have a lot more cleaning to do.
What are you doing with that?
Right now we're taking this board out so we can actually properly clean it. I got a little standoff to screwdriver adapter here.
Cool.
So we're trying to take this board out so because you see all that shit in there.
Ooh. Dust is a
Put
killer.
a beep there. I didn't mean to curse. Anyway.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What did you even say?
The S word.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'll put a I'll put a beep there. Okay, yeah. Whoops.
Cut. No, I'm kidding.
We here at Amortitech Solutions apologize for we are keeping this PG as possible.
For all that beep in there, and then just cut like to a thing or whatever. I don't know. Cut to a funny moment.
Right.
Cut to a meme of a guy like trying to jump a waterfall and he misses. Anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. No, I'm happy you reminded me.
You weren't gonna remove that, were you?
I mean, this is like pure organic filming, you know, guys.
So as you can see here, we have all of our parts out of the case now, and from there.
Got some dust flying around, as you can see.
Oh yeah. I don't see it, but I'm a little blind right now.
Another reason why I'm standing back, so
I can inhale it all. Thanks.
Right.
I'm the natural air filter around here.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Mike, you know.
I normally wear a mask when I do this, by the way, guys. I normally do it outside, but just for the video's sake, I'm gonna do it in here. And the little dust won't kill you. It'll just make you sneeze a lot until you blow it out of your nose, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to do this at some point, yeah, I'm all dusty now. See. So I'm just cleaning off using some simple green cleaner, cleaning all these little pieces off.
Yeah, the dust is a killer, and
A clean computer makes it look like 10 times newer, obviously.
yeah.
So now that this is all clean, as you can see, we're going to put that board back in here. Now we'll reassemble each little piece and put that back in the case once we're done cleaning the case. There's a little more dust in there, so we're just going to... These little microfiber towels, or paper towels, cling onto the dust really well. And
Oh, you got those microfiber towels. Those things are the best.
Yeah. So now you see, look how clean that looks before and after, see? He's ready to go now.
Wow.
So now we just gotta get our little screws situated. Which screws were they? I'm trying to remember. I think it was it these little guys? I think so. Doesn't really matter. Screws are screws. As long as they screw in and they don't feel like they have too much resistance. I think the other one fell in here. There they are. I'm glad we cleaned out that area because now the USB ports will work for a long time on this computer.
Oh, so that's why. Well, dust can really kill everything.
Well, it's got little chips on there, and they overheat, they die. Done deal.
Right.
Simple as that. Put a little game port, and we don't. The one thing we don't test on these computers is like the game ports and stuff. Because we don't guarantee any software compatibility.
Right.
That's up to the buyer. But I did have a buyer reach out the other day and say, "Hey, you think this game will run?" And I'll answer your questions. Sure, I'll say, "I don't know. You gotta tell me what game it is," and they'll tell me the game, and then I'll compare the specs of the game that they provided, that requirements on the box. It's like a Scholastic game from like the 90s or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And they haven't said anything, so I bet they're good now.
No, that's cool.
And yeah, there we go. One refurbished and cleaned thing. We'll make sure that, obviously, yeah, it's all lined up.
Right.
And
What do you actually use to actually clean it? You use the microfiber and the...
Simple green.
Oh, okay.
Just as long as you're not rubbing it directly on the board, you're good.
Right.
So it just helps the dust from flying around if you have it wet a little bit.
Right. Put a lot of elbow grease into it, right?
Not really much. It just kind of clings to it. The dust is dry and this is wet, so it just kind of goes and picks it up. Yeah, so we're going to clean all this up. All the little nooks and crannies.
Just so you guys know, too, I have the worst allergies, but
I'm pretty good.
I always got to tough it out.
We're inhaling dust so you don't have to, see? This is quality right here. So we're getting all the little crevices, dirt back here. Original labels. This thing can go. That's not really important. Oh, you see all the dust it just created, too. Yeah, there we go. And from there, we can go in this, make a little pinched thing there and go in the crevice.
And as you know, uninteresting as this can be, you know, you gotta.
It's very important.
So it's probably one of the most important things is killing the dust, getting the dust off.
I mean, look at that case now. That case is ready to be reassembled. What did that take? 5 minutes, if even.
Yeah, because honestly I've seen dust kill computers.
E-machines in the last couple episodes. I bet you that was dust that killed that.
Absolutely.
Or power outage, but most likely dust.
Yeah.
So next we're going to work on our motherboard here. So obviously we'll unseat the RAM and take a look at it.
Now he's jumping in.
Looks like they're unmatched sticks, but with these old computers it normally doesn't matter. So we got a Crucial and we got a original Compaq stick. So likely this was an upgrade. We also have, looks like, what, video memory? Because you have video chips here. That's why, tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think that's video memory. It's original. Looks like laptop RAM. It's kind of funny, but... And then we have our CPU here, which needs a cleaning. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Comes out. So, from there... Yeah, I usually don't repaste these card ones because they're very delicate. Normally what I'll do is I'll just take my toothbrush. Oh my god. I'll take a toothbrush or a paintbrush. So I'm going to go look for my paintbrush real quick.
Oh,
Oops,
sure.
sorry.
Yeah, that's alright.
I got my paintbrush in here and I'll do this right into the garbage can.
Okay.
So you just... And sometimes I run the vacuum just so that while I'm doing this it doesn't go into the air, it'll catch into the shop vac. Now 2 seconds of vacuum as I do it, cleaning out of all the fins so that this thing can breathe. Fun fact, this is cooled off by the power supply, so it's got the fan right above it. You'll see that later. Came out pretty good. Just gotta clean up a few extra parts, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward to clean these.
What kind of brush is that?
Just a paintbrush. It's a good paintbrush though. Linzer or something. Linzer's Best or something we got at Walmart.
Pretty thick paintbrush there.
Yeah.
Good for killing dust.
Next we'll go back in. Click in, nice solid click. There we go, we're in. Check all the capacitors while we're in here, they all look good. I think this is prior to the capacitor plague of the early 2000s, so. Next we'll remove the old CMOS battery. It's most likely dead. It's probably the original, so we'll just replace it, regardless if it's good or not.
That was a good professional thought.
Yeah, it's an old battery. I mean, they're like a couple dollars, like $1 if even.
Right.
If you buy a lot of them. I got these Toshiba ones right here.
Honestly, I usually keep those things in my car.
What, clock batteries?
Yeah, because in case I come over here, I'm like, oh, I'm going to Mike's. I have my batteries. No, I'm just...
Yeah. And dust is getting me again. It's part of it.
Yeah, guys, dust is so serious. We cannot emphasize that enough. You got to clean this stuff.
I wear a mask, but it's not entertaining to watch me wear an N95 with big filters like this on it.
Yeah. We got to show them the
crazy mask I have.
Yeah, the mask and then the machine you use to do it outside, dust it outside.
Yeah.
I'm so a fan of that.
Oh man, it's strong in here today.
Yeah. If you guys haven't noticed, I hate dust.
I don't particularly enjoy it, but it's still cleaner than like other things like gasoline. And
yeah, but you got to do it.
You got to clean these out. I mean, you can't really leave it.
There's no question. Especially if you have a customer. I mean, that's going to be the first thing they know is the
oh, dirty computer, what the hell? What did he sell me, you know?
Right, exactly.
Nobody wants that. I don't want that.
Right.
Refurbished, and then you see it's like a pile of dust in it. It's like, ew.
Right.
So, clean that all up. Click. There's one cleaned up motherboard. Oh, got a little extra stuff to clean up. Hold on. Got a little extra stuff right here. You gotta sometimes look at it in light at a different angle and catch some other stuff. You can never get it 100%, but now it's pretty good.
All right, now you're making me laugh. Come on, we gotta get through this.
We'll never get through this. It's just constant suffering.
Guys, look, this is
real. It's
so imperative. That's why we're here. That's why we're showing you. Like this is how a pro does it.
Typically, we'll record on a day when we're both home, obviously, and not at work.
Yeah.
At our day jobs, and We'll do this outside with masks on. We'll air compressor, not do it in our lab here, but
Yeah.
cut that part out.
Yeah. No, because also I've definitely seen like computer gamers where they just let the dust sit there and
They just like love inhaling it.
yeah, it's just
They just
so
love
bad.
it. They
Yeah.
love every moment of inhaling that dust.
Yeah, and they're like, oh,
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's not gonna do me any harm. You know.
5 minutes later.
It'll get you eventually, and then you think it's what you ate. Oh man, it must have been what I ate. No,
At McDonald's it didn't exactly help, but
yeah, you just ate a Big Mac dust sandwich. I know there's no copyright on that. You know what I mean? And like
Mac Dustwich.
you know, you're like sick for like 5 days. You got to go to the doctor. He puts you on some medicine that you don't need, and you never realize that it was dust.
Thanks, man. You're basically summing up my weekend now.
And honestly, I don't think anybody hates it more than me, because even during the cutscene, me and Mike almost started arguing about just dusting the thing in general, and I'm like, well,
in the enclosed basement. Yeah.
and then of course I'm like, well, they gotta see it. We gotta, you know,
We're doing a really detailed one this time. Next episode, I'm not doing this inside.
yeah, because you know,
This is too much. I
Yeah.
need a mask, and
You guys-
I have asthma. This is not helping.
yeah, you guys get the point. You
Get
know,
the point. Now I'm cleaning off the faceplate here. This is the most satisfying part, in my opinion. This is the face of the computer.
and
Imagine
actually,
a guy has a big zit on their face, and then you clean this. It's
Yeah.
Like, it's like same thing. Look how good it's already looking.
wow, nice.
It's cleaning up nice. All
Very
these
nice.
scuffs.
Yeah, no, really, I think they're gonna like the air compressor too. That's gonna be good content.
Yeah, we'll just have to try to lower the volume on this so it doesn't make them deaf.
Oh yeah, that thing is loud. No, we're
Well,
definitely
that's a really loud. That Harbor Freight air compressor is like super loud.
no, we're definitely gonna put some rock music in there. Oh, hey, I
I
noticed this while Mike is cleaning that. I just noticed this really cool
Oh,
mallet.
wow, look at the dirt coming off.
Look at that mallet, guys. Mike does a lot of handyman stuff too, by the way.
Oh yeah, show them the saw up on the roof.
Oh yeah, we got the
the
we
bow
got
saw.
this.
Bow saw.
There you
Looks
go.
like a
That,
bow
that,
and arrow.
that's his new addition to the lab. I told him that it was.
I got it. Someone just gave it to me, so I'm like, okay, fine.
I was a little intimidated walking in here, guys, but me and Mike are best friends, business partners. You know that whole thing, so I'm safe.
For now.
But he is a beast.
I'm kidding. God.
He has a weird sense of humor, but that's
I
his.
like that. I thought it looked kind of like oh yeah, this is my tool shop. You know, I got the saw on the wall.
You know, how would you guys feel if you walked into work as a cameraman and, hey, you like my newest decoration? Well, I don't know.
I put 2 big nails. They ain't going nowhere.
Nah, yeah, that thing's not going anywhere.
It's easy to grab if I need to use it for like cutting wood or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna get our lovely. We're gonna do all the detailing fine work on this front now. So all those black scrapes we're gonna try to get rid of. So using rubbing alcohol. Don't directly inhale this if you can.
Right.
And all the cuts on my hand proceeding to burn. No, I'm kidding. I don't have any cuts on my hand today, but sometimes it hurts. Yes. So from there, we're gonna get all these little scuffs off to the best of our ability here. And so it doesn't fade the labels, we're gonna try to wipe it off real quick. There we go. Look for any big scuffs like this right here. Try to polish them out so you guys know you're getting a good computer. Because we want this thing to look as nice as it can without fading the labels, obviously. Sometimes it's hard, and sometimes you do by accident, but nothing's perfect, especially when it's such an old computer.
Right.
I'll leave that scuff near the label so I don't mess up the label, but like little stuff like this little guy right here. See that little one?
Yeah.
Just a quick little rub down, it'll come right off. See? Sometimes it leaves a little scuff, but like little white marks because it went through the yellowed plastic into the white plastic, but
Right.
if you really want to nitpick that much, I just try to do a nice little, as gingerly as possible.
Right.
And try to buff it out. You see it comes out pretty good.
Yeah. I like that door on there. That door thing is pretty cool on the faceplate.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool features they don't really do on computers anymore.
Right.
At least on most consumer computers. So now what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of this old black mark right there. And you see how it's a little bit more white there?
Yeah.
Because the yellow is fading away. So I'm going to try to blend it a little bit. Just do the whole panel here. Because this is like a little bit abrasive. Not a lot, but a little bit to... So now I kind of blended the white to the beige of it from the sun fading.
Mm-hmm.
So now hopefully it'll kind of blend a little better. Get rid of this big scuff right here. It looks terrible. Make this thing look really nice for you guys. Whoever buys this, it's on eBay.
How much you sell this for?
Typically, I think 95 machines are what? 150 or 125? I have to look exactly. It's in the hundreds, so it's not bad.
Oh, nice.
Considering all the work that goes into them, it's pretty reasonable. I've seen things like this go on eBay for like 300.
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about? You ever seen that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I've definitely seen that before. I don't want to pretend like I don't know. I just like to ask a lot of questions. I always ask Mike a lot of questions, just in case there's something that I missed.
Or something you want the reader to know.
Exactly, right, yeah.
Watching, it's not a book.
Exactly, I mean, what if
Sorry it's late, okay?
for the kids, man, for the kids. This is for
the
all
adults.
Well, this is for all ages, man, kids, adults, anybody that fixes computers, that's all.
Or that just enjoys watching old technology get brought back to life.
Exactly.
This was sitting in recycling a few minutes ago, and now it's coming back to life.
Right.
So now we're clean all in here. What do you think of that finished product?
Very nice.
There was a little dust on that ledge there, on your favorite little door there. When you first saw it, you're like, this thing looks sad.
And then I knew it was filled with
all that in there.
Mass amounts of dust.
Of course it's gonna be. I mean, it's a very good computer like this. It isn't dusty.
Yeah, seriously, look at all that dust on Mike. Like, look at him. He's
it's getting pretty bad, guys.
Yeah, it's like.
I'm gonna try to vacuum this out. This is getting really. Big one. Look at that. Oh no. Come back. Oh, it would help if this was attached, huh? We're gonna get back in the computer. I'm gonna get it off there. You don't have to get 100% of the dust, but just enough to kind of clean it up a little bit. You see? There you go, it's pretty clean. Compared to what it was, especially.
Nice.
Okay, that's good. Put that over here on this other extra computer that we have over there. Alright, so that's all done. Next we're going to do the testing of the individual components. And I think I'm going to save this power supply for later on in the episode when we can go outside during the day and blow it out. Because I'm not going to try to do this inside. I can see the dust floating.
Right.
No, I'm not doing this.
Man, thank you for... Whew.
I mean, I could do like
sparing
this.
me.
Like this stuff's easy. You just wipe it down and you're good. Like this stuff, like the hard drive.
Yeah.
Either works or it doesn't. You just give it a quick wipe down so you can see. And if it doesn't work, I'll give it to Matt because he likes these big hard drives.
Wow, that's probably the biggest hard drive I've ever seen. That's like...
you can say this one I have on display is pretty big too. This one's even older over here.
Wow. See, he has all kind of cool stuff down there.
This is an old Quantum Pro drive.
Wow.
Look at that baby.
That is huge.
Look at the chips on that.
Wow.
That thing's crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
Look how big the connector is. I don't even have anything that works with that.
Right.
This is from, I don't know, it doesn't have a date on it. And I have another Bigfoot up there for display. But anyway, that's my display shelf.
Cool, man.
So yeah, we'll test this in a minute. Next, we're going to clean the floppy drive before we test it. So we're going to take these 3 screws out.
That's actually my favorite component, just all the copper. I think that's really, really cool.
It's to ground it so it doesn't short the pins.
Yeah, that's something pretty cool, man.
So I took a picture of how it's laid out currently. So if I'm not sure how to put that together, it'll make it easier. So next we have our 3 screws. They're not even tight. That's kind of funny. Just because it's like, wow, they're barely in there. I mean, can you tighten this down? Oh yeah, you usually can. I don't know why they're not tightened down. Maybe someone was messing with this. So there we go. And this just kind of... Oh, it's actually glued on there. It's part of the floppy drive. Okay. So...
We like glue here at Immortitech.
It is pretty useful stuff, glue. Anyway, let me wipe this down real quick. Brand new. Not really. We got to get the inside cleaned out. I think we'll save the inside of this for the outdoor portion of our video as well. That's going to need a really big gust of wind. I don't feel like breathing all that in right now. My lungs are already tired of me for tonight.
Right.
So the next day that you see us for this episode, we will be doing that.
Cool. And this happens every time, guys. The cleaning has to happen. It's not an if, it's a must.
And we're gonna inspect the. I guess we can test these two things today, and then we'll put a little transition in there for you guys.
Cool.
So first, let's see. That goes in there, and then this, I guess we'll test second. Making a lot of noise. You hear it? It's like, oh, it's trying. I like the orange. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Normally they're green like that.
Yeah.
Need some help. Oh! Well, the motor works. It works now. It's pretty good. Alright. Just clean the tray off here a little bit so it's not going to bring any dirt into there. Let it air dry for a second. Let's get our test disc. Netgear test disc. I have a driver disc that I always use. Our system is very fast because we solid state drive swapped it. Fun fact in case you didn't know.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So put that in there. It seems happy. Let's see if it'll read it. The less I have to replace on this, the better. And don't forget, Mike, we still have the iOmega zip drive. Oh, good point, Matt. I've never used one.
And this,
so we'll see.
I
never
think-
used an iOmega zip drive.
Just for the
Yeah, it works. All right, great. We have a DVD drive.
For the record, this is probably the episode where I'm talking the most, but I'm talking the most because it's what I mostly don't know about that I'm seeing. Like when he's talking about a Pentium 2, I mean, let's be honest, like who do you know actually uses a Pentium 2? I don't know many people who do, so
that works. You think this hard drive's going to be alive? I'm going to say no.
I don't know, man. That's kind of a stretch.
It's kind of bent when I got it, actually.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Power and data. Data. Power and data. Anyway. You hear it? Hear it spitting up?
Yeah. Oh.
Sounds good. You don't hear any big, like, bam, or crashes, or... It might have worked, and they just got slow, and they got sick of it, and that's more likely than most scenarios.
Have you ever had, like, a heartbreak where, like, you try to get, like, you really like the hard drive or whatever, you just plug it in, and it's just...
Yeah, that's happened. Like these, I have one up there that broke. But now I haven't seen more of these, so...
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's part of the passion that Mike has. He always wants it to work.
XP's great for testing this stuff as well.
Yeah,
It's very compatible.
That's how you become a pro, man. You just
found new hardware,
keep
disk
going.
drive. Matt, show him that.
Here, let me get a zoom up on that. Just so you guys know, I am also pro.
I think this thing might be alive and well.
Pro
if it is,
IT
I'm just going to
guy,
put it
but
back the way it was, you know?
I'm not going to share my resume on
Quantum
here. but
Bigfoot, good. 8 gigabyte, wow. 8 gigs, that's it.
Very nice.
That huge hard drive, 8 gigabytes. 14,000 hours. So this is new enough where it has, if you show them right here, smart. Hey Matt, you know what smart means?
Actually, I don't, Mike. What does it mean?
Self-monitoring, analysis, and reporting tools.
Wow.
And reporting tools, sorry.
Very interesting.
So it'll report itself if you ask it to.
Cool.
So it's been powered on 1,988 times, and it has power on hours of 1 year. Basically, it's only been on for a year. It's not that old. I saw a customer's hard drive today that had 44,000 hours on it. Which was like years of use, and it was starting to fail.
Wow.
Pending sectors.
Wow.
Okay, so that's working. Ooh, listen to it sing. Anyway, we're gonna shut this down, and we'll catch you back outside with the air compressor.
All right.
We're back, and apparently we're outside, where I can inhale dust directly into my lungs. Wait a minute. Oh no, that's not what I meant. I meant we're dusting a power supply, you know, with our electric duster, because it's better than buying tons of compressed air cans. So yeah, if you look right there, if you want to zoom in. See, very dusty power supply. It's not a regular power supply either. It's some weird thing that goes with that Compaq computer that we're currently working on. It's a couple weeks later, but we got back around to it. You know, customers come first. So I'm going to wear my mask so I don't inhale the dust directly into my lungs. And with my electric duster here, the cameraman will zoom in and get the amazing shot here. Ready? This is it. Come on in. You zooming it in?
Yeah.
And this will help keep the life of this longer, because they don't make this anymore. It's good to protect as well. So we do nothing but the finest work here at Mortar Tech. Alright, and that's that. We'll see you back inside now.
So now that we're back in the office, we can work on the computer itself and putting it back together. So as you see here, we have our, what is that, Pentium 2 card slot with this nice beautiful heat sink. Everything's dusted now. We have our, and this is a Compaq motherboard. And yeah, you got tons of floppy connections, as well as a new CMOS battery from our customer. And a lot of expansion slots and everything. So first we're going to take the case here, and we're going to slide this dude back in. So we're going to notice the I/O shields right here, the input-output, because you have inputs and outputs into the computer. That's why they call it I/O.
Nice.
Anyway, so we're going to, little nubs right here, we're just going to slide this in. It's a whole tray, so you don't have to unscrew the motherboard. It can actually just stay on there. This is the motherboard, this orange thing, if you're not aware. So there you go. So we're going to put it in, and then you slide it. Look for any things in the way. Everything looks pretty good. Make sure everything's lined up, and then you should just slide on in. So let's take a look here. There we go. So now everything's starting to line up. Got a few little things hanging here, so we're going to double check our setup here. Look at all the pins, because of these little metal things you have to be careful for. So we're going to watch out for that, and then we're going to try again. So make sure that everything is in its tracks the way it should be. Ah, there it is. You hear how this click? And you see now everything is perfectly lined up in the back and clean looking.
Wow, very nice.
Before, I don't know if you remember, but all the ports were so hard to see out of.
Yeah, you definitely got to have hands for that, guys. He
You
makes
got to have a steady pair of hands to do this.
Mike makes it look easy, but he's been doing this for a very, very long time.
Yep, since high school. So, oh, scammer. Anyway, so as we see here, that was funny actually. That was unintended, but that was actually kind of funny. And as you see here, I'm just gonna screw these down. There, give it a little more oomph. Let's really torque that down, make sure it's not going anywhere. And then you have your main screw right here, in addition, to hold it in. That's why there's a little divot in the metal there. Give it a little less oomph actually, because I want to ratchet more than anything else. So there we go. I know it's nice and tight then. And we'll check. I don't think there's anything on the bottom. Now you see here, our motherboard is now installed.
Nice.
So from there, we're going to plug in our little serial connector back here. Look for the divot where the pin is not filled. You see there's a little block out there. So you match that. It clicks right in.
Very nice.
And then from there, make sure all our RAM's tight and everything. Dust it off. And then from there, I think next we can do a couple different things here. So we can do the hard drive, the floppy drive. Let's do the power supply first. This is the thing we just dusted outside, not more than 5 minutes ago. Not less either, but maybe less than 5 minutes, I'm not sure. Anyway, so we're gonna get this put in. So as we see here, it is a little bent, so we'll get a little pry tool in there and try to figure that out. So without having to take it all apart. Just get in here and just give it a nice little, there we go. See that? Now it's nice and flat.
Oh wow, cool.
So we had to get that little nub back in there. There we go. Sometimes these older things get beat up and you just gotta help it along. See, now it's nice and lined up. Someone can easily plug their device in now. Get that nice squeeze so that little tang doesn't fall in again. And then from there, we will first test this power supply. So this power supply in particular gets turned on when the computer gets turned on, so we have to wait for that. But basically what we can do for now is plug it in. So we're going to look up at our screw holes here. You can see that one's like that. So we just go, just slide into the little groove right here with the little nub right there. And all you got to do is just lay it in here. I see some dirt, so while I'm in here, I'm going to clean it up a little bit. Look for our cleaning cloth. Give it some of the simple green. I don't dilute it because I like to have the good strength of it. So just give it a nice wipe down in here. See some dust. Nothing's ever perfect because of how old these computers are, but this is a full rebuild. This is like a little bit above the refurbishment. Just for the entertainment sake here, I'm not all of our computers go through this, but if it's really, really dirty, then we'll make sure to do this. It depends how much it needs it, if that makes sense.
Right.
So from there, we are putting that in. Now it's nice and latched. You see how that hook grabbed? Now it's not coming up at all. So now we got a nice power supply there. And it's got some surface dust in there, but the majority of the dust is out, and that's what's important. So all the components can breathe down. If there's going to be a little bit of dust in there, it'll come back in 5 minutes anyway. So we'll lock that down. Get 3 more screws. And fun fact, most PC screws are pretty generic and similar between desktops.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Unless you're using like an HP with like star bits or something, but
Right,
old computers are very... Alright, what do we get?
And for you guys who don't know what star bits are, he's talking
Torques,
about
they call them.
the screws basically that he's drilling right now.
This is actually a screwdriver, not a drill. Basically what it's doing is just putting the screws in, and it's better than having to sit here and mess.
Saves you a lot of time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially on this assembly. So now we have our power supply. We can route all these cables. So we're gonna look in here, see where this guy goes. Figure out, there it is. So we got 3 connectors here. I'm gonna check my phone for the picture. And you can show them meanwhile. Look at that. We got a nice 1998, May 30th, 1998 is when that case was built by Everskill.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Give me one moment, because I took pictures of these connectors just to ensure that they get put back properly.
Purposely zooming out slowly so camera stays in tune here.
Yep. Autofocus takes a second sometimes.
Just hanging at the shop, man.
Yep.
And we here at Mortitech, we try to make these videos as realistic as possible.
Sometimes you gotta do research, what you gonna do.
And Mike researches everything, so.
Well, I have a picture of how I plugged in these connectors, because they all look virtually the same, so you gotta be careful.
Hmm.
When do you think I took that picture, like May or something? Alright, so we're back from that intermission. I just wanted to make sure everything was plugged in right. It's actually keyed so it can only plug in right. We actually cleaned this really nicely. I remember before, but it was very dusty. Fun fact, they actually make holes here so you can unscrew it. Everything was so nice and maintainable at some point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Everything now, you gotta like do a dance through 5 hoops just to get apart. This is like solid metal, and you just put your stuff in and that's it. Give me a second while I get this on. Oh, I gotta go from this side, I see. Gotta go from the inside. I don't remember how to put everything back together, but I always figure it out and don't break anything when it comes to that. I try to be very careful. Ah, I see. I gotta put a screwdriver all the way in there to do it. Maybe I should go on first. Right, Matt?
Yeah, man.
Oy, oy, oy. Where's my screwdriver? Insert another clip here. No, I'm kidding. Where did I put that screwdriver? I'll get my spare for now until we can find it. So let's see here. Get my spare screwdriver. Should get a regular. I think these are screws for that computer. It looks like it. If not, they're just regular PC screws anyways. It doesn't really matter. Either way. It's ready all the way in here. See what I'm doing? And drop the screw. No, that was not the goal. Wait a minute. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta have a little finesse with these things. You know what I mean? Can you even see what I'm doing or no?
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of in the way, but, you know, I don't want to say you're in your own way, but...
You see?
Okay, yeah.
So we got...
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't plan this out perfectly, did I? There we go. So I'm gonna give myself a screwdriver. Ah, you see that catch?
Yeah.
Bro, that was sick. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna block your view for just a second.
Okay.
Here, gotta get this started though. Damn. Hold on. Come on. Get on there. There we go. So you see now we're gonna line it up. Get it started. Maybe do it by hand a little bit just so it stays. Oh yeah. It's going right in. So you don't take the whole thing apart if you mess up, if you know what you're doing.
Right.
If you don't know what you're doing, you're like, well, this whole thing's gonna come apart again. And that's the end of your night. Or day, whatever. So now that's nice and tight. That's holding in our board there. Next we have our power buttons. So we gotta figure out where those go again. So we're gonna go look at our front panel actually to determine that. So it doesn't go anywhere. This already has power buttons. So this must be from another computer. Anyway.
See those power buttons. Oh, okay.
So I think everything's in here that needs to be in here to make this work. Actually, not yet. I'll put this on last. So you got a nice little backdrop here, see? Let me clean that up. Look how good that thing looks, man. That's gonna be
Yeah, it
beautiful.
actually does look
The only thing
really
that's missing
nice.
is the door, but it's not really functional, so nobody really cares. So next we got our caddy here for the floppy drive. And, I'm not sure if we took this apart or not, so out of interest of time saving, I'm just going to take it apart real quick and make sure there's not a ton of dust in it, because sometimes these get very dusty. It's got some surface dust, but that happens in 5 seconds after you own it anyway. Well, right, so I'm just thinking about how I want to open this here. Get my little pry tool here. And then I'll find that screw that I dropped in a second, though you don't really need a screw on this. I don't know why they put them on there, because these just pop up anyway. A fair bit of dust. I'll use a paintbrush and just lightly agitate it. So this is not very high quality. I think it's a Linzer paintbrush. Linzer Best. Very nice. Easy to use. Just get all the grime out of it. Yeah, you see the big chunks coming out? It's not like going airborne though. It's just going straight to the ground because they're heavy. That'll give us its best shot of it living longer. So I'm trying to take some additional precautions to keep technology you're buying here in better condition.
Dust is definitely a huge killer, man.
I've seen it kill multiple electronics
Yeah,
over the year. Well, many, not just multiple, like hundreds probably.
definitely.
There's a screw. So the screw goes back here and holds the cover on. Why is it necessary? It really isn't, but just to be safe, I'm going to bend these little. This is very thin metal, so I'm just going to bend these in a little bit so they grab again. Well, that's back together. And they got this like copper thing to make sure it doesn't, the board inside doesn't short or anything. So that's kind of cool. It's like an adhesive thing.
Yeah, I like that copper
It's pretty
plate.
cool. You don't see that anymore. So I just thought that was an interesting feature. So now gently balance that. Put the screw in. So I think first we're going to put this in here and then mount this. So we got to figure out, we got to determine how this goes in. So as you see here, there's an extra screw. So most likely it's probably, this is going to have to go forward. So we're going to see, is there a little nub right here? Where does this clip on to? Yes, so there's a little nub right there. So this is going to go like this. Just to confirm, we're going to test fit it before we go through all the effort. Yep. Because that's actually indented a little bit, so that's going to be perfect for this. That's just your little floppy drive holder. I guess a hard drive could go there too. I think the bolts are the same, the bolt pattern. Yep. There you go. So all we're going to do is just use our floppy here. And if this isn't working, we'll test this to make sure it's working. If it doesn't, then we'll pull it out and either put a block off, or if we have a floppy on hand, we'll put that in. But you don't really need a floppy in reality. It's nice to have for backwards compatibility, but you can always use the CD drive as well, which we have plenty of. So I'm going to screw this in, start with our fingers here. This is like the Bob Ross of computers, right? Paint our little pretty trees here, right? I'm not gonna cheap out. I'm gonna use all 4 screws, guys. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking because I see a lot of builds where it's like just 2 screws holding it on by like a thread, and it's like dangling there, and you're like, how the hell has it been working for 20 years? You know, like
Yeah.
you're like looking at this thing and you're like, oh my god. And for a sneak peek for our next video after this, we actually have a computer that a customer's having a hard time getting a hard drive out of, so they kind of drilled it apart. They drilled all the case rivets, so I'm going to see if I can rivet it back, but if it's really tore up, then we're just going to... Well, I don't have the side panel anyway, so I think we're just going to part it out. So put it on a test bench like this, and that's going to be really interesting, because I'm going to tell you, well, what can I do with a computer that's been so beat up like this, right? You're going to think it's garbage, but really it's good parts. We're going to see if we can make it run Windows 11.
Nice.
Next we have our lovely DVD drive here. And it's got the nice yellow vintage tinting there. So next we're going to put this baby in. Right here. Alright. And from there, put our screws in. You know, I don't know if these are the right screws, so I'm just saying get some... Oh, don't drop them. So we're going to just screw it in. We're going to use 4 screws. They don't really match in reality. So they just got out of work. So nobody looks in here and says, that screw is not the same color as the other one. You know, like, nobody cares.
Right.
And you know what? You can't get to the other screws, so 2 is good. They don't allow you to get to those, so you ain't going nowhere. So next we're going to plug in this cable right here. So we're going to lay this down. We're going to look at that little connector down there. Get our hand in here. Connect that little ribbon cable, and then next we're gonna put our Quantum Bigfoot. I believe earlier in this episode we tested all these, right? With this baby. If not, we'll test it while it's on this computer.
Oh, cool, cool.
Well, this I could test right now. I want to make sure this works before I put it in, because I don't think you can run the software I run on 98. The other stuff I could test while it's in the computer. Ooh, let's listen to that for a second. Do you hear that? Hear that? Boom.
Yeah.
Hear the clicking? So it's like up, down, up, down. Unfortunately, that doesn't sound great. So we'll see what's going on with that, but it's trying to detect the drive, and it may not even be detecting it. So we might have a dead drive there. Yeah, so that's dead. So next, put the camera up to it, see if you can hear it a little better. Oh, now it's trying. Now it's not doing the disc crashing, so maybe it is healthy and it's just being weird. Or maybe my healing hands fixed it. No. Most likely not. When a hard drive goes, it goes, and that's it. Those are really cool old drives, though. It's actually Windows XP on a solid-state drive. Look at the speed.
Nice.
It's a great computer, yeah. Pentium 4. Big old cooler on it. Big old Pentium 4. If you're a nerd, you'll know what ISA and PCI are. It's got both of them on there. Old and somewhat older slot. So now we're going to go to the software I use called Crystal Disk Info, and we're going to check our hard drive health. Quantum Bigfoot, good. Maybe it just hadn't been turned on in a while and it got a little stuck. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I believe we tested it early in the video, but it's been a few weeks, so I'm just going to take it safe, you know?
Right.
So we're going to shut that down. So he actually goes on the top here because he's so big. He's 5 1/4, which is like normal like DVD or CD drives on computers till this day, on desktops. As you can see by my lovely pink computer here. Oh my god, let's change that color. Ah, there it is. Where was the rainbow? Get some cool rainbows going on in here. I know we're getting a little distracted here, I know, I'm sorry. That's kind of cool. And yes, I did build that before you ask. I like that computer. So we're going to put this in, find our screw holes. Look how good that fits in there. Like a glove.
You know, I think I will pop the motherboard off for a second because I am missing a couple screws here that I would like to get to. So I'm going to do it right. So I think we're just going to pop this tray back out. And we also have to connect a few cables to it, so that'll make it easier for us as well. So sometimes you just gotta do things and try again. So we're just going to do these. Pop this in forward. Remember we did it forward, so it's going to go forward. Alright, and then it's going to come out. And then we're just going to lay it like this for a second, just so we can see what we're doing. I'm not doing it really tough. You know, it actually gives you nice workability if you want to plug in your cables here. So we got our front panel here for the 2 USBs and the, what is that, game controller port. And we also have the DVD drive right here, so we're going to put our screws in for that first. This is a Milwaukee electric screwdriver if you're curious. It uses 12 volts, I think. 12 volt screwdriver. It's got some good oomph to it though. I've loved this thing for years now. It's got great battery life. All Milwaukee fuel tools always do. I used them in high school. We were in the robotics club. They always worked good. So, scooch it out of the way for a second so I can actually screw this in. So that's good. Then we'll do our hard drive here. So I'll just screw some screws in this to hold it down. Yeah, I may use skinnier screws. Let me check. Just to be safe. That did look like a smaller, like a DVD drive screw hole. It doesn't hurt it to have a bigger screw in it, but yeah, it's a DVD drive size, so we'll just take that out for a second. And try a different screw. And I know these videos aren't always the most entertaining. They're supposed to be more informative than anything else.
Right.
But it's also going to be entertaining to see someone work on such an old computer.
You know, step by step by step, you know.
Put this baby back together the way it should be. Yep. So we have our Molex cables here, so we'll start getting them ready. So we have the floppy drive and the DVD drive. So, and the hard drive. So we're going to need 3 cables. So this one fell, pardon that. So we're just going to wipe this off here. So some dust on it from it sitting. So we do get dusty in here, believe it or not. Why would you get dusty in a computer shop, Michael? Great question, because computer shop. They get a little dusty, but overall they're pretty good. So just give them a quick wipe down, and then drive 0, as it's labeled there. Drive 1, and then you got this really sticky braid. And a good wipe off real quick, just to make it less sticky. It's never gonna get perfect, but yeah, these just melted like the adhesives. Look at that. Now it's all my fingers. That's not gonna come off for the next 2 weeks. Follow to see us try to get this adhesive off for the next 2 weeks. So we got that all set up now. Insert rock music here. No. So this is drive 1, drive 0. So this is just a regular cable. So we'll just get this guy. It's not like a floppy drive cable. You see how the regular ones are bigger IDE, and then floppy's a little bit smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So we have first and second. So this will be first right here. Double check. So I'm just reading. Give me a second. White is the second and black is the first. It's actually written on the board. So there's your tech tip for the day. So we're going to route this through here. So this is the first. So we're going to route to the hard drive. We're going to make sure it's plugged in right. So we're going to go like this. And you get a good view of this. So we're going to get it right here. You see the little indent right there, so we're going to make sure it's all lined up, and then go plug this guy in. This is called your ribbon cable. There we go, nice good old click out of that. And we're going to zip tie where these pieces of tape used to be. So I have a couple zip ties. No, I have a lot of zip ties. I got a good deal on them, so here we are. So we're just going to go zip tie 1, just kind of like where it was before, you see, where the sticky stuff is. Hopefully this will just keep that out of the person's hand if they ever do have to work in here again.
Right.
We don't. But one thing I want to say is we don't warranty computers that have been worked on. On a 30-day warranty, if you start working on them, we're not going to warranty them, just because we don't know what got done, what happened. You know, anything could happen. You could unplug something wrong and break a little tiny pin on there, and it's not going to work anymore. Right. I can't warranty that. If you want to learn, I'm very happy for you, but I can't warranty it, unfortunately. I'm talking from experience. I've had this happen before, so. I used to do it and it just bit me, so I'm not doing that again.
So now we gotta lay this over there for a second, because we gotta plug this in from the other side, the floppy drive. So next we're gonna look for our other cable. Where'd it go? Right here. Put some more zip ties on him. And pardon all the other jobs we have in the background. We have a lot of other customer computers as well that are coming through. This one had a failed power supply. Those Chromebooks being purchased by another customer.
Well, you're a busy man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you see how gooey that is?
Wow.
Ew. What kind of tape is that? It's not electrical
Guys,
tape.
this is just as important because we call this cable management, obviously, right?
Yeah, we're not doing the cable management just yet. Now we're doing the cable routing right now.
Oh, okay.
We're routing it to where it needs to go, and then from there, we'll put more zip ties and make it look all gussied up and less of a dust collector. Because the tighter your cables are and more out of the way they are, the less dust they collect. It's almost like a big cobweb that collects all the dust. Or most people call it a rat's nest if they see a ton of cables.
Nice.
So get rid of all of our extra stuff so we don't leave a mess. So now it looks a lot better than before. So this will go right to our, yeah, it's the drive and that's the system. So this goes right to the optical disk drive, or the ODD. No, it's not that odd, Matt.
Mike's got jokes.
I do have a good sarcastic humor. Okay, so we have that running over there now. So now we're going to lay this back in, not fully, but just a little bit. Just to set us up here. For installation later. I'm just going to kind of slide it in, just a little bit. So now we got to route all these cables. So this is drive right here. So I'm going to look for our connector right in there. You see that right up there?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll tip it over so you can see a little bit. So we got to connect this guy right here.
I mean, it's really dark in there, so I mean, like, even if I zoom in, it's kind of,
Yeah.
There we go, we see it.
And then the floppy cable, which we're going to just delicately tuck between the power supply and there. That's how it was from the factory. We'll shove it back there. Out of the way. Actually, fun fact, this power supply is also a cooler. It's got the fins right here. It also cools the CPU because there's no active cooling on the CPU, just that big fins, as you saw earlier, those big black fins.
Oh, it's so interesting. I can't believe you know that, man.
Well, yeah, you can see because it basically sucks the air. It's the only fan in the whole case. It's just that.
Right.
And that's from the factory. It's not the way I did it, obviously.
Right.
If I did it, I'd probably have a couple case fans because they got some spots for them. Like right. No, that's the only case fan. I think there's a speaker hole right here. There's not really many spots for fans in this, but I don't think these got particularly hot compared to modern stuff. So now I'm plugging in the floppy cable. Sorry, it's hard to see, but I'm plugging in the power to the floppy drive. And then from there I got to plug in the power to the other two devices. So we're going to run this up here through all the other cables, so give me 1 second. We're not even to the software testing yet of what these computers go through, because regardless, those will always go through the stress tests and everything. I think we use Passmark version 1 or something, like really old, but it's for like 90s computers. So next we're going to route our power up here to the hard drive. The big old, they call them Bigfoots actually, Quantum Bigfoot. Look it up, it's pretty cool. I thought it was funny when I first saw it. I'm like, Bigfoot, what the hell is that? That's a big drive, wow. So, here's your funny tech knowledge for the day. I already told you your tech tips, not your tech knowledge then. Your random useless information that you're never going to use. Now both things got power. We're not going to do all the cable routing till later to make it look really nice because frankly it doesn't need it right now. So now we have some extra that can just get put in there for now. I think we're almost ready to put the front on. I mean, I don't think we forgot anything. We're going to double check our area over here. We do have a block off for the iOmega disk drive that we had in there because we don't have any way to test that at this time. So I'm going to get the block off that I 3D printed right here. It matches the color nicely and it's a nice solid PLA material.
Very nice.
Alright, so front panel with most importantly the power buttons. So we need that. So we're going to route this guy right in here. And since this is the feet for the computer, we're going to have to get it all on there and put it on the edge here so that we can get it back on. These are very fragile. Do not take these off, even if you're working on the computer. Because these are, the clip breaks and then you gotta re-glue it, it's a nightmare. So it's just nice and easy.
So in other words, this is like a really important piece. This is
Well, it holds your power button, yes.
Yeah.
So now I gotta look for a little hole where the power button goes through. So maybe don't clip that first, obviously. Just kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle out. The plastic gets very brittle, as you see, as it gets more yellow from the sun. It's not really avoidable, unfortunately. But you see how like nice and smooth that is? These are sharp edges, but this is like nice and like bent over.
Yeah.
So this could go right in. So we'll shove that little guy right in the hole there. And we'll plug this back in. Not plug it, I'm going to clip it. It's got little plastic clips in the back. Most satisfying part. You ready for this? Oh boy, hold on. Something's getting a little pushed in there. I gotta fix that. 1 second. Floppy drive eject button's getting a little bit bent, so we'll just have to lay this on the side and start over. Gotta take it real slow when you're doing this stuff. Real slow. Maybe we won't do that top portion first, so I'll take that off real quick. Nice and slow. So you see it's got a little bent. Yeah, there's a little tiny hairline crack, but nothing too bad. It's not going to allow it to work. So, unfortunately, these are very brittle, so it's just something you got to deal with when you're working on these things. So, these are not perfect machines. You see scratches on them. I mean, for their age, they're 30 years old. You can't be like, for a computer that's very old, and you just got to take it as it is. So, lesson learned, we just got to go on straight with this. There we go. Now it should just go. So we'll let that go in. See, it's been a little finicky now. Old plastic doesn't always stay its perfect shape either, unfortunately. There we go. You see that?
Very nice. Look at that click.
Gotta give it sometimes a little bit.
You know, Mike isn't going to say this, but once again, you got to be very talented with your hands.
Please see, the crack's not even noticeable from the outside,
Yeah.
and it's still functional, completely functional. So now we have our little connect, but most importantly now, it's got the front, which is beautiful now. Look at that.
Very nice, man.
You got your jack, you got your DVD, you got our block off, which will go in there shortly. It'll look like this. Oh, that's perfect.
All
That's
right.
really nice. That's gonna match perfect. The most
Beautiful.
important thing is plugging in that little itty bitty connector right here, getting all the length through, and then pulling this off again because I knew we were going to eventually. Coming over here with this little guy, because otherwise your computer won't turn on. This is your power button. Yep. This little guy plugs in right here on the side of the board. Nope, other way. Whoopsie. Maybe not that connector. Let me see. Technical difficulties. Uh-oh. Do. You know? I don't know. I think it is like this. I was right. Yeah, it is the right spot. Why do I ever doubt myself? Right, Matt?
Yeah, man.
Why do I ever doubt myself? I had it. I had it. Yep. I had it. So now we're going to slide that in. And as we did before, slide it into its proper spots. Nice and lined up. And then sink that screw in. So we're going to sink that screw in, as I just said. Do. Nice. Now it's not going to go anywhere in shipment, because these do get shipped nationally over the United States. Sits for about a month or two and then sells. They're pretty popular. But
So, ladies and gentlemen, in other words, Immortitech is a national company.
well, we're our New Jersey registered business. Guess what? We're about to turn LLC in a month. We'll start doing business as the LLC. We registered it this month, which is the 8th month of August.
Very cool.
So
All right, so we got that front panel on. We'll come back
Yep.
soon.
we're back. So after a lot of research, I got some new things to show you here about how we're going to test this. So as you saw, there's front USB ports on here. As you saw.
Yeah.
Come on, camera guy.
All right.
So right here we have front USB ports, jokes
Cool.
aside.
Very cool.
And Windows 98 2nd Edition supports USB flash drives, which are great for loading things on here.
Right.
So I need to move drivers, I don't have to do CD, off, on, and keep like moving things back and forth, which is a nightmare.
Right.
So I have this old floppy disk I got from the recyclers. I work with local recyclers, as you may or may not know. and I put USB flash drivers on it. And I put it on a floppy because I have this little test one hanging out of the system here. And yes, you can do that if you own this computer, or you could just. And I also zip tied the little plastic thing here so it doesn't move. So now the cover doesn't move either. It's really nice. So we're gonna open the floppy drive and run the software, and I'll show you. I'll give you a little. This is some of my free advice I give people every so often. Some of the tips and tricks that I've learned that I would like to share. You know, some things you can't because it's part of your business, and like either it's personal or, of course, it's something that you took a long time to learn, and you share it. It's like the car mechanic showing you how to repair the problem. You know, it's like much as I want to help, I can't always. But in this case, I would say that this is a great thing if you have an old computer. Maximus Decim. Hold on. Ooh, pardon me. We're gonna leave that in there.
Yeah. Okay. It's all right.
Maximus Decim native USB version 3.6. In other words, this is a USB flash drive driver for these computers because when you plug in a flash drive, it doesn't know what to do with it. So we're gonna install it. You show them this?
Yeah. 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 They could see it.
Okay. Lovely hard drive noises. So then I'm going to eject it. And yes, you can make your own floppy disks if you weren't aware. And I'm going to try a new software that I got off the Internet Archive. It's called Passmark Burn-In Test version 3.2 because I want to do, they call it loopback testing of ports. Let me see where I put the stuff from earlier. One moment. Here they are. Give me 1 second. So, I have loopback ports for parallel for printers because I don't have a parallel printer. And I could use it for the communication serial or RS-232 port, but I did find our mouse, our serial mouse, and it does work. So I actually checked it off on our list right here. So,
cool.
Yeah, and I'm working on getting the drivers for the graphics on this, and you guys will see it soon. That is pretty cool, isn't it? Anyway, so now we're going to install the software. So we just insert our floppy. And we go to... Actually, first, before we do that, I would like to see if it recognizes my flash drive, because that driver works when you use a older style flash drive that's formatted with, I think, FAT32 instead of NTFS. If you don't know what that means, I'll make it really simple English. Old formatting standard or new formatting standard. And formatting of a drive is where you wipe it. Okay? And how it's readable by the computer. So look, now it's going to do this. It recognizes I plugged in a USB device. We have to test these USB ports anyway, so might as well do it while we're here together.
Right.
And as I said earlier in the video, we're not going to do a full teardown like we did, like in this case, unless it's a really bad computer that needs it. Like it had water damage or something. See, Memorex, it actually recognizes that it's a flash drive. So now after letting it load for a second, we will see that... That's the wrong mouse. We will see... If you go to my computer... Right here, movable disk E. You see that? And we should be able to see whatever's on this flash drive, which is burn-in test and other softwares and drivers. So it's working like a flash drive should, but in Windows 98, second edition. So it works like a modern computer would do with a flash drive, assuming you have it formatted to the classic standard. Alright, so we're going to try this new software now, the Passmark Burn-In Test version 3.2. Previously on our refurbishments, I haven't shown it, but we use version 1. But I want to get something that does the loopback testing of the ports. Printer ports almost never fail, so I don't usually test them, but I'm thinking, I never had anything happen, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to expand our knowledge here.
Right.
So, I mean, it's really hard. I've never seen them fail, and they rarely are used on these anyway. Let me make sure this other port works as well. So it recognizes that too. So we got two USB ports that work. So we'll mark them down. Check those off on there. So we'll install burn-in test here. This is from like 2002, I think. And it's just a click copy from my little floppy here. Because in the event you don't have USB access, you can do that. I'll add the computer model here. Compaq Presario 5035. So we're going to do launch burn-in test. It's my first time looking at this particular software, so this version of it. So we're just using the evaluation because it's not going to live on this computer, obviously. So now we just need to determine what the tests are that it has. Oh, here we go. Look at all these new features that were not on the previous version. If you're familiar with this. Parallel ports. Detection and loopback test. So here's what we're going to do. We have our... And what is a loopback? You may be wondering. It basically... There's pins in here. You see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It basically goes this pin to that pin. And it basically says... It's like going in a long hallway and saying, echo! And then it echoes back to you. Except the same thing with this. To really test that all the pins on the back of this computer work. So as you can see, we plugged it in. And there's only one port here, so it should only detect one. There's 3 for some reason. I don't know why. But so you click OK. I guess you click green for run. And it'll do all these different tests. You know, like audio sound tests. And that gets really annoying, so I'm just gonna... You get the point. Obviously the graphics are terrible right now because I've installed the graphics driver, so this is hurting my eyes too. I know you guys are all like, oh, this looks terrible. What an old piece of crap. Right? No. We're going to make it look really nice, don't worry. But I just want to test the parallel port. I guess it does it with all the other tests. So that's really cool, but this software works, which is great. So I reached out to them and they weren't able to easily get it, so I did look around and found it. Yeah, so it has other things here, but what is this? Oh, parallel port. There we go. You gotta check it off. There he is. Let's try it. It says corruption, but we'll see why that is. Could just be a bad parallel loopback tester. Because I bought this somewhere randomly online. We're not using the one that's made to use a pass mark. So if you guys like this video, maybe we'll go buy some from their website. It's like $16 each. Yeah. It's expensive, but... Well, they have nice music playing now. I wasn't expecting this. This is actually quite nice and relaxing. Unlike that last one that was going like ear piercing. So we know this is a good test. No errors, no errors. So we could set whatever we want in here to run. Parallel ports, is there serial ports? Here we go. We could do a COM1 loopback test as well. But I don't think that those adapters I have are made to work with this software, so we could see what it does, but I don't think it's going to work right. So let's just see. So before I sell this computer, I'll probably order those adapters, just double check everything. But we know that's a good serial port because our lovely mouse here, after we unplugged the PS2 port, worked with this serial mouse. This is the only one I have. They're not common. Like $30 on eBay if you want a new one. Or $30 on brand new on Amazon. They still make them for like plotters or weird printers and things like that. So we just want the... Where's the other ones? Here. COM ports. Here we go. Okay. Go. Go. Oh, no, wrong way. My bad. And it's saying this line is stuck or whatever, so it's not working perfectly either, so... I don't know how accurate this software is. It could just be that these are not Passmark certified adapters to work with their software. So that's most likely what the issue is. So these are just random ones I have. This is from another software from Eurosoft. and this one's just a generic. So we're gonna order from their website that it said that it has everything that we need. So perfect. So yeah, this will be our test software. We'll get back to this in a little bit. But first what we need to do is get the burn-in test on that flash drive, because this is my main software flash drive. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go over here to the main PC and copy it over. So 1 second while I do that. Oh, I do have version 2 here, but I need at least version 2.1, so version 3 is great. So let's see, I need to find where it was. Give me 1 second. Go here. Copy this executable. Go back. I do have it organized in here, believe it or not, despite the state of the lab right now. Alright, new. Oh, I do have 3.2 in here. Huh. I didn't know I already downloaded it. Fun fact. Okay, I'm going to copy it. Give me 1 moment. Just so we have it for the future. So that's there now. Perfect. I'll just copy it and put it onto our driver's disk right here. It'll take 1 megabyte. It'll take like 2 seconds. Figure out what it wants to do. Oh boy. And then from there, we're going to get our audio graphics driver. So I don't know, from the last part of the video, we did discuss the chip, the graphics chip, which is a AGP set, they call it. So I did download drivers for it. That should work. So I think it would be this 3.2.01. Yeah, this thing. So we're going to try this. To double check, I'm going to go on to where I was on here and check. So I'm going to say AGP set and look up the model number and re-download it to make sure I have the right one. So what we're going to do right here is I'm just going to look at the photo I took of the chip. 1 second. So you guys remember I took a photo of the chip yesterday, and it was AGP set by Intel. So it has Intel graphics in it. This is prior to like your HD graphics in modern computers if you're familiar with them. And what we're going to look for is the driver. And it's 443EX basically, or in this case, something like that. So we just gotta look for something similar. The retro web. Here we go. So there's documents about it and stuff when we need the driver. AGP set. So we're just gonna say Intel AGP set. There we go. 440BX. So they have drivers here for it. Chipset software, yeah, infants. Alright, so we do have it already. I just wanted to double check. So I did find it yesterday. I'm going to copy it. Actually, I'm going to copy I'm going to extract it. I think it already is here, though. Yeah, it says we did it yesterday, so my computer's taking a second to load. Just be patient with it. It's usually very fast. I don't know what it's doing, so we'll just try this again. There we go. So make sure that everything's in here. Yes, our installer's in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy it to our flash drive. This makes it really easy to have flash drives working on this computer now. So now we're going to wait a second while it copies. Oh, I think the floppy disk is upset about something, so I'll just put one in to appease it. Because I ejected it too quickly, maybe. There we go. So, yeah, now it's happy. Sometimes it causes issues. Now it wants one again, so... Oh, we're trying to copy from the floppy disk drive. No, we don't want to do that. 1 second. Alright, that's why. It was trying to do something else in the background and it got messed up, so... Alright, now we go. So cool, now I can actually copy what I was trying to copy. So... It's a little buggy using a floppy disk with Windows 11, but what are you going to do? So we have our thing here. Perfect. So we're going to eject. Here's how you properly eject a flash drive, obviously, right here. Alright, go over here. Install it. Open it, and hopefully we'll have some nice graphics after this. Did I put burn-in test on here? Oh.
I thought you did.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh. Just crashed, so we'll check that again in a second. Windows 98's not perfect. It does have some bugs, but yes, I did. Perfect. Alright, so then we'll check here and we'll install it. Yeah, chipset installation software. This will be your chipset drivers as well as your graphics, because AGP is advanced graphics something. It's graphics related though. So here's our lovely software. I know it doesn't look good now, but once we get the drivers installed, it'll give us better video quality. End user license agreement, yes. Agree to that. Yes, I want to restart my computer now. Alright, restart. You always got to restart after driver installations. We'll uninstall this software too before we're done, but we still need to test with it, so. And obviously we do not have SD card on here, so while it's loading we'll just go through the rest of the list. No compact flash. Power switch is working fine. There is no reset switch on this one. The keyboard and the mouse are working good. There is no Ethernet on this one because we removed that earlier, if it did have it, because this should not be connecting to the internet due to safety reasons. If they want to add it, they're welcome to. There is no trackpad or mouse or webcam. Did not need new thermal paste so far because it's not been overheating, but we'll double check that with the burn-in test. Oh, it doesn't like that we had the floppy in there. Sorry about that, computer. Alright, so no battery on this. It's not a laptop. Windows is always activated on 98, so we don't have to worry about that because we just activated it. So that's passed. There is no updates for 98. CMOS we did replace. Floppy drive is not applicable because we removed it. And the power supply, we checked the voltages. So we're almost done with our computer test here. Though we do want to get the specs and some photos. So look, now it's actually recognizing the processor and the AGP controllers. You see all that? It's following all these new hardwares. So we'll give it a minute to set itself up. So it looks like we have Pentium 2 in here, if you're wondering. But we can use a particular software called Hardware Info or something like that. It tells you, like, oh, CPU-Z Retro Edition. So now once we restart again, we'll say yes. And to make it easier on the eyes of our audience, we can restart it shortly. So it's no, we're just waiting for it to load. So we're gonna just tilt it down a little bit. There you go. I'm just looking to see how it looks from this angle. I don't always see it from the cameraman's angle. I wonder if you guys can pick up how loud this hard drive is. It is like a very nostalgic.
No, you never heard a hard drive that loud on YouTube, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So our graphics already look a little better. You notice that?
That's very interesting that you notice that. I kind of see what
You'll see in a second. About. The colors is only. I think by default you only have 16 colors. This gives you like 256 or whatever. Oh yeah, look at the difference. And you'll see more when I go into here. Hold on, sorry. Properties. So now you'll see in here under display adapters. Huh, that's still not up to date. That's interesting. That we did give it chipset drivers, so that's cool. I could have sworn that would have been the graphics. We could test the graphics though and see if there's any additional settings we can do, or if there's. I could take out the power supply temporarily and take a look at it. Yeah, so we still did not install the correct graphics driver. I thought it was changed, but it's not. So let me look at it a little bit more. So it seems like it's just chipset. So we need to see if there's any graphics particular drivers. So let's see. So I'm looking in here right now. We do have one down there, which I'm going to try and determine. We don't need the floppy disk anymore, so we can just pop this guy out. We don't need it, so let's see. So I'm gonna look in here. So PCI set, that might be it, but usually the AGP set's the one that controls the graphics. So we're gonna have to look into that a little bit more, but it's also hard to see in here because of this power supply being right literally here. So I'm gonna shut this down and then pop out the power supply for a second so that we can try and it's only 3 screws, so before you get all worried about it, it's just gonna take me 2 seconds. We're just gonna pop it out so it's easier to see what I'm doing. And this will just slide out of our way like we did last time, if you remember. So then, yeah, so we do have Pentium 2 with MMX technology. So it's got like the updated version of Pentium 2. Oh, and I see our graphics right in there if you'd like to come and see. So that is going to be fun to get to. But you see right up there on the top it says ATI 3D right there. That's our graphics chip. But we can't even zoom it in a little bit, you'll see. See up there, that little chip with the white writing on it? There you go. So we're going to have to pop the motherboard out so we can read it. Sometimes these computers aren't always predictable and you got to like... Because there is no like... It's very hard to find like a restore disk for a computer like this, of this age. So we're just going to have to... Not wing it, but sometimes you got to just be adaptable. You can't be like too set on how you want to do things here. Because sometimes you got to... think outside the box here. So sometimes I just look at the board and see, instead of looking up Compaq Presario 5035, you know, drivers, and it's just going to tell you, what is that? Google's going to be like, what kind of computer is that? It doesn't even know what to do. But like if you do research by looking at the physical computer, that's always going to be accurate. So we have we already had to install chipset drivers, so that did help. It probably wasn't needed, but because it was running fine, but like there was no caution marks or anything. This graphics driver isn't needed, but it's correct for the computer, especially if they're going to be doing games or whatever they're doing on it, whoever's the new user of this. And you want to be able to set the resolution and not use the default terrible resolution. So I always make sure things are done properly here at Mortar There we go. Turn it down a little bit so it doesn't over torque the bolts. It did in that case, but I like that it holds it, it gets it down though and screws it down to pretty tight. It's tighter than you could do by hand, which is nice. Alrighty, so now we're going to pop all the connectors off because we're going to have to temporarily dislodge the motherboard. So, just when you think you're never going to open this again, you got to open it again. Isn't it funny? We just put the side panel on like yesterday when we recorded that portion. So this is going to be a really long one. I'm sorry in advance. But unless you enjoy long videos, some people love long form videos. So we'll see in a minute. But right here, I'm going to open it up. What we're looking for, if you'd like to come closer, cameraman, is right here. So we have a Rage graphics card in here. ATI 3D Rage right here. That's what it was so hard to see from that angle.
Oh, okay.
You see?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a picture of that for future identification. Alright, and then we're going to put the motherboard back in the way it was and go research on the computer for those drivers. I can see if I have anything here, but I don't think I do. Sometimes I've been saving drivers on my computer because I have so many computers like this that I go through. And you make sure that all the ports are lining up back here. Alright, so we're back to business now. So now we're going to go on here and look at my random drivers I've been downloading over the years. I have a lot here, so if you want to come closer, you can come see what I'm doing. So first I got my image here I'm rotating so I can actually see what the heck it is. It's a Rage LT Pro AGP. So that AGP is the graphics still, but it actually does have dedicated graphics, and I did see little chips next to it, so they may have dedicated some sort of memory to it or something. I'm not entirely sure. So that's what we got from here, the retro web. So we can go to home. We can go to, it might be on here as well, so I'll check here. Chipsets. And we can just look up Rage LT Pro. Nothing. So we're gonna check my driver stash first. Hold on. So we're gonna go to documents. It should be like drivers or something. Give me a minute. I have a lot of files in here if you couldn't tell. I've had to fix a lot of computers. Drivers for vintage PCs. And we'll look in here. Something along the lines of Rage or something. Nothing, believe it or not. So we're going to do our own research here. So ATI 3D Rage LT Pro AGP drivers. AMD still has it on their website. I can't believe that.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Pretty amazing.
Thank you. Wow, AMD. Nice job. Assuming this actually works. Pass me that flash drive you have back there. Remember the blue one?
Where is it?
That's a good question. Where is it? No, it's still in here.
For some reason, I thought you took it out.
Me too. I threw something else over there, that's why. Okay, so this is the Rage LT Pro. So we'll let 10 megabytes of files copy. So that's on here now. Alright. Plug it back in. Okay. Plug all of our connectors back in. Any questions so far?
Not yet.
Do you think anybody would want to ask if they were standing here with us?
I mean, you're basically answering everything as we're going along. You know, we're just checking the specs, making sure everything is, all the ports are working.
Yep.
You know, all the software is up to par. The hardware is definitely up to par. I think the case in it itself speaks for itself.
It's gorgeous, yeah. Besides the missing piece here, it's really nice.
And I'm not a huge... Matt, the camera guy, is not a huge fan of beige computers, and I'm talking about myself in the third person, but that's a nice one.
Yeah, it's pretty clean. No rust or,
you know,
extensive damage or anything. You're right, yeah.
So it's definitely a vintage piece, and part of selling these, even any computer, you know, you got to have it up to where it's supposed to be.
I ain't your average Facebook Marketplace seller, just saying. I have a computer, been sitting in my closet for 10 years.
Right.
Now, this is a legitimately tested, refurbished product.
Right.
And you can check all of our 5-star reviews to see for sure.
Right.
Especially on our eBay store and everything else.
Yeah, Mike doesn't get 5-star reviews here because we're just messing around over here.
No,
Like
this is a lot of years of experience.
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't plug our audio back in. We didn't get to hear the boot chime. Oh no. Oh wow, this is a tangled mess. Hold on. Oh nope. Okay. Alright. So, my computer, open the flash drive like a flash drive because of my extensive research. But I gave you a little trick there. I gave you a little piece of hidden information, if you will. So this should be it right here. Doesn't always work from the manufacturer's website, so we'll see. Worst comes to worst, we gotta keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But I may want to keep a laptop here at some point that I can copy from. Oh, look at our beautiful ATI display screen.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll look even better when you actually have the correct graphics drivers instead of just 16 colors. And this is wireless, yes. So how old this is still wireless keyboard and mouse. It's PS2 compatible, though. But what's weird is they did a PS2 keyboard, but a USB mouse. So I had to adapt it so it would work with this, and it is working. Of course, most of our videos won't be this in-depth, but some people do like the technical aspects of this, so gotta cater to every audience. Let's restart and see if it makes a difference. It may have did nothing, honestly. I don't know. Sometimes drivers are not like obvious, like it's gonna work great, especially with these old computers. It's like, cross your fingers, it's gonna work, you know. Pull this out because we don't need this right now. So we're just waiting for the computer to load back up to see if the drivers make a difference. Believe it or not, it's actually a healthy hard drive. I tested it. It's like this big. It's a very big hard drive and it's very loud, but it's actually the original hard drive, believe it or not. Oh, we need to screw it in on this side, so I'm going to do that before we close it up. I just realized we didn't screw it in, so. So far it doesn't look different, but we're going to take a look and see if it did install any different drivers. It may not have, so we'll need to see. What's it saying? Uh-oh. Oh, it's telling you how to use a TV display. I'm not hooking up a TV, so we're good. Ah! The corrected graphics driver. See that?
Nice.
So now, in theory, we should be able to set a proper resolution that's not burning our eyes. I thought the colors looked a little bit different. Didn't you notice that? Like a little bit deeper?
Yeah.
Yeah, this does look different now. 256 colors. You see, here's what it would look like if it was only 16 colors. It's not a huge difference, but the main thing you'll see that's a big difference is the... Let's do the 1600 by 1200. So it's going to resize the screen. Oh, dude. It's a very modern looking... Yeah, there we go. The monitor had to auto adjust. So that's a very high resolution. I'm going to do 1280 by 1024 to keep it a little more conservative on that regard. It's already looking a lot better, but I do want to put it more like, let's do 1024 by... That might be better for this screen. It depends on the screen you're using. Now we're able to set everything. Oh, that's nice. You see that? Look at that. That's a big difference. Especially when you load in like burn-in test or something. Look how much different it looks. Look how like it's not pixelized anymore. Now that's nice. So 300 megahertz Pentium 2. I'll write that down while it's here. But additionally, we're also going to install another software on here. So first, before we do that, let's show you some softwares that we have in store. And we're going to take some listing photos while we're here as well for the internals of this. So we're going to open this. We're going to open. So now we're getting into the juicy stuff here. So open that up. Yeah, look how good the graphics look now. That's a lot better. CPU Z, Windows 9X. Nope, that was the README. Oops. Uh-oh. No. This is a great program. I'm so glad they made this. They made this after the fact for Windows 98, for retro nerds. And look, it actually tells you everything about your processor. So this is a Pentium 2. It actually even tells you like a lot of technical aspects. So we have Pentium 2, 300 megahertz. That's the speed of it. So Pentium 2 at 300 megahertz. With memory, we have 64 megabytes of RAM. Good. You can also see about the graphics, which is just an ATI Radeon. Doesn't tell you that much about it, but you can also see your main board, which is a Compaq. It even tells you chipset and a lot of other technical aspects. When it was made, 1998, you see that? So it's reporting itself, which is cool. This is a really cool software. I really like it. So, yeah, I'm going to take some photos with this now. So what we'll do is we'll go to Properties, have this over here, and we could do our function and print screen. Then we will open up Paint, Accessories, Paint, Control V, paste it in here. Now we have a perfect picture to show customers about this computer. So we'll do File. We'll save it to our flash drive here because it'll take quicker. Though I have saved it to floppies before and it does work as well. So we'll go to here and we'll just say pick one. Okay, close this. And we'll go to Device Manager here, open some of these so people have an idea of what the specs are. So then we'll just do something like that. Alright, we'll just do this, that's fine. Nobody needs to see all that. And then we'll put this to memory so they could see the other stuff. And then we'll do function print screen again. Then open paint again. Paste. Yes. Now you see you have your graphics and what RAM you have. So now this will tell customers what the specs are, even if they want to see it for themselves or something like that. People generally like when I put these photos. And it's better than taking a picture of the screen itself. It actually looks a lot better when you take a screenshot. So now that we have that working, we don't need that anymore. So now we're going to do our burn-in test. So it obviously is going to want some sort of music disc or something, so let's just check off what we want to test in here. Not that, so we're going to go to CPU, sure, CPU, yes, no printer. COM port we're not doing for right now because we don't have the proper thing, neither with the parallel. No network either. Discs, sure, 3D graphics we could do as well. Click OK. Let's see here. So I'm going to put some sort of test disc in here. I think it usually looks for music. So it's going to test disc A, C, except we don't have a disc A, so I'm going to remove that. 1 second. So we go into our little settings menu here. Discs, where would that be? It likes to move them around, so I'm trying to figure out where it is. Disk. A, remove. So now we're only doing C. Perfect. So now it should show up as only C there. Yep. Right there. Perfect. So now I'm going to give it a CD to play some music from. And obviously this will be copyrighted, so when it starts playing I'm going to cut it off. Though I could get some open source music and play it. Yeah. Now we're back from our brief intermission here. I put some port covers here. And from there, what I had on hand, and then from there we're putting furniture feet on these because these are really thick and they work really well to adhere on here. Like this one I just put on doesn't even come off. And this will allow the computer to be a lot more stable. Because the plastic ones, there was only one on here and I'm not going to like leave it not right, you know?
Right.
So these just stick right on, you peel your little thing off. You can get these anywhere. I put them on any computer, any piece of furniture. They're on eBay, you know, just get whatever cheap ones they have. These are 25 by 5 millimeter furniture feet. So now if you see when I sit this up, because the front has feet here, part of the plastic face. But now with this, you see how the case is not scraping now? See, there we go. Got a nice stance to it. This table's uneven, so don't regard like when it was like that, because this table's uneven, but because I've had a lot of computers on it, but. Yeah, I mean, now you see it slides easy, it's easy to use now, and you're not scraping up the metal or the table itself. Alright, so now that we have this all back together, we're going to make sure that this turns on and we're able to reinstall Windows, and I have a little checklist here of, like, I do like stress test, the hard drive check, which in this case I already did the hard drive check before in the video, so we could say that passed. So I do like little check marks. And, yeah, so let's get started. So first we have everything plugged in here. Make sure our KVM is set to 3 because that's what this was plugged into. Typically with these older computers, sometimes they just turn on. So that's cool. So yeah, let's see what it does here. We still gotta test the drives here, but the hard drive should be fine. It may even start booting, which we don't want, only because, you know, actually I'm gonna turn that off real quick. Currently it's checking the RAM, it looks like. See, it counts it up. Power button works as expected because we plugged it back in. So that's a good sign. So I'll turn this back on. Open our DVD drive here. I don't remember now if this was the original or not, but whatever it is, it should work. Alright, so nice and quiet. Look at the door, came out really nice. Everything came out really clean. I'm very happy with the way this came out. So let's see here. Got my wireless Microsoft keyboard here, but these are PS2 compatible things, so it's nice you don't have to have like a ton of cables to mess with. But there's batteries, of course. And it uses the world's hugest, look at this thing. This is your, like, before you had like the little Logitech dongle, it's like this big. Look how big this thing is. It's crazy. And then you push that button to pair it. So I forget exactly what boot key it is. So sometimes you gotta mess with it a little bit. Try a couple different keys. you know, delete. Seems like it counted the RAM okay. And this is the first time I've actually turned it on, I think. I actually took it apart before turning it on just to give it a nice cleaning, but I made sure it did turn on in general, just I didn't boot it or anything. So let's see what it does. Might have a little fast forward action here, I'm not sure yet. It looks like it's trying to boot to something if you look at the little blinking cursor up there. Diskette controller for error, so it's maybe the floppy drive's not working or something. We could always replace that. It's two screws and this whole thing comes out. System options not set. Well, of course the battery was dead, the CMOS battery. Which, as you guys remember, was that little coin cell battery we replaced. Yep, and there's all your setup options. So right now I'm just going to look and make sure that we did replace the CMOS battery. I believe we did. Yep, we did. Okay, so they were automatically updated. That's good. And let's go to computer setup and see what's... Wow, look at this BIOS, 1998. All right, nice. So, diskette drives A and B are not installed. One of them is, I would say A is. So let's try that. Let's see, change options is plus. So it's a 5 1/4 inch, or no, it'd be a 3 1/2 inch one, 144 megabyte. So enter, and then we're gonna make sure the time is set correctly if there's any time in here. Sometimes these old BIOSes don't have it, so we'll just save changes and reboot. That floppy drive is shaking the whole computer. That's interesting. Did you see that? I was like, it's weird. Just get controller error. I think this floppy drive might be bad. In that case, we might have to do a block off plate. That's not uncommon. With these floppy drives, they get a little bit of dust in them. They're very finicky. So we do have our lovely 3D printed block off, which is going to look excellent in there if we do have to do that. Diskette drive is automatically updated. Good. So we'll click F1 to save changes, and we'll let it reboot again. You see that? Did you see that or no?
I mean,
it shakes a little bit, so we're gonna look into that and see why it's doing that.
yeah.
And it's showing an error as well, so that's definitely. But it sounds like it's trying to read from the disk. If you see the orange light here. Oh yep. Feel the vibration? It's trying to boot from this. So in no time, hopefully we'll have Windows 98 Second Edition installed. Then from there we can find some drivers for this Presario 5035. Yeah, here we are. So CD-ROM. We're going to install Windows 98 together. So we're going to start set up from the CD. And with Windows 95, you got to boot to the floppy. And then from the floppy, you got to switch over to the CD. Or you can do entire floppies, which I believe is 30 floppy disks, if I'm not mistaken. You got to keep switching them out. Like, insert disk 1 of 30, 2 of 30, 3 of 30, and it stops and you got to go... And then if one of the disks isn't good, you're stuck in the middle of the installation.
Wow, that's so interesting.
It's terrible. Anyway, we're going to set up... replace your current operating system. Yes, because sometimes these old operating systems, it's better just to wipe them out because they have passwords or people's information. So whenever we refurbish a computer, we always wipe it as if you got it from the factory. And then we make sure you have all the applicable drivers we have to manually search for online, which we'll do in this episode as well. And fun fact, if this says USB, we can actually make it support USB flash drives. There's a aftermarket driver that allows you to use flash drives with these computers. So I can just keep moving drivers instead of having to put them on CDs and keep going back and forth like and keep like putting stuff on CDs and then yeah. So we're gonna replace the current operating system. So we're gonna remove. Let's not remove them because that might be the BIOS. Sometimes the BIOS is actually installed on the hard drive on these. It's been crazy. I've had to deal with that before. So we're gonna try not to uninstall that and see what happens with that. I don't know if you remember I had this, it looks like that one up there actually if you want to show them. That big Compaq Presario right there, that big wide one that's next to the black desktops and the networking switch to the right there.
All the way up there?
Nope, down.
Oh, okay.
That one has the BIOS installed in the hard drive, not on the actual motherboard.
Oh, interesting.
Listen to those lovely hard drive sounds. One like that I've already sold.
Right.
So I had to locate it, install it onto the hard drive, and then you install the operating system next to it.
Wow.
But if you don't have it, then you can't do certain features.
Right.
Like get into the BIOS and set up the boot in the configuration for things. So right now it seems like it's checking the hard drive to make sure that it's good. Doing scan disk. 5¼ inch hard drive, pretty crazy. It still works though, can't fault it.
Is that the size or is that?
Yeah, it's 5¼ inch.
Oh.
5 1/4 or 5.25.
Oh, okay.
Sounds happy. The size of that file is being misreported. Sure, fix it. About to make changes to drive C. If you want, you can create an undo disk. Skip the undo. We're wiping everything anyway. We don't need an undo disk. But it's nice that even this old software has a lot of features to help fix things if there's any problems. So when this is done loading, we'll be back with you shortly.
All right.
Alright, so we're back. After a lot of testing and other things, we found some conclusions here. So we found our PS2 mouse, not PS2, serial mouse. Sorry, it's late. And, yeah, as you can see, they're not common. I only have one of these, for example. I have a ton of PS2 mouses, which are the other connector. But yeah, so we did a lot of tests going through our checklist. So the serial port does work. And we checked the back audio, things like that. Everything seems to be working. So next what we're going to do is we just checked the floppy disk that was in here originally. Even after cleaning it, it's still just goes click, 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 and it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. So we're going to do the best solution, which is the best solution for this case, because they're not made anymore, floppy drives, and if they are, they're very expensive, to the point where it's not worth to put in here, you know? But we're going to leave it where if the customer wants to put another one in, we just sell it as with no floppy drive, because you don't need a floppy drive to use it, as long as you have... in Windows 98 SE, for example, 2nd edition, you can use USB ports down here with the driver that allows you to use a flash drive, or the DVD drive. And this will match the other block off we have here that was missing. So, we're going to do that. A little modification there. So I'm going to shut this down real quick. And we're going to basically recycle the floppy drive and take everything out. And that squeaks a little bit. That's normal for like speakers on these computers. So we unplug it. You make sure it's not going to turn on, obviously. Unplug that so it stops hissing. And from there we'll find our screwdriver. No. 1 second. There it is. So I'll go ahead and walk through here. Make this nice and quick. And we're going to basically... And it's been running great so far with all our tests. We're going to stress test it, obviously, with a pass marks burn-in test. But first we need to get this front panel off so we can take this floppy out. So we need to get all the little tedious, fragile clips to open. So you need to go up and down the sides of the case and wiggle these little plastic clips. The world's most fragile things, mind you. Especially with old plastic. You gotta be very careful. Oh, actually. Scratch that. I forgot. This is a 90s computer. Everything's built well. Ta-da! That make that look easier?
You make everything look easy, Mike.
Well, there's that too, yeah. Yeah, if they want the floppy, I'm just going to remove this cable because it's just a dust collector now. They can always add one in later. It's just a regular floppy cable. Get it? Because it's
floppy.
Yeah. So, we're going to basically, and this will just block off this big hole here. I'm not going to leave a big hole, obviously, that collects dust. I'm going to put this one in there so when you see it, as a customer or whoever's using this computer, it looks like there's something in there, but there really isn't. You won't have that button, unfortunately, but that's not something I can really replicate unless I glued this in, I guess. But then someone's going to try to use it and it's not going to work. I mean, you could get this to glue in, like from the other side, obviously. Like this, for example, just to conceptualize it for all the viewers. You can if you were building this computer for yourself, that's what I'm trying to say. You could put it in there, just so you don't have a hole. Which is a lot of hot glue, and the minute it gets there, it's just going to fall off anyway. So it just shows that you need to add a floppy. But unfortunately, I don't have any floppies that are like this because they use like this weird elongated button, not like a normal floppy disk drive, which is like this one, my test one right here, which is just a regular, faceplate button. It's no faceplate, elongated, it's just weird. It's a proprietary to this computer or to these type of computers like Compaq. So we're gonna unscrew it. And I'm about to scooch by Matt in a second. So I'm gonna take all this off, noting that the front is right here, so we know where to put our block off. It's the most economical way to keep the aesthetics of the computer and future upgradability. Because I'm gonna give the bracket to the customer so that they can put this back in if they ever want to put one in. Though we don't warranty if they're doing their own work, we do encourage that everybody learns for that matter. I mean, it's not a bad thing. But I'm squeezed by Matt. You can just stand up for a second.
Okay.
We get my screwdriver. And yeah, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to install the floppy drive now. This is a little overkill. We don't need anything this long, but I don't want to use a electric one because this material, any plastic for that matter, doesn't like to be drilled in too quickly. It's best if you just hand thread this in, you see? Mm-hmm. Nice and slow. It may crack a little bit. I mean, a lot of plastic does. This button was cracked as well. I mean, in this case, it actually didn't crack at all. It went perfectly smooth. You just don't want to... It's a very finicky thing. You don't want to over-tighten it, you know, just nice and easy. So we're going to do the other one now. Enough where it grabs, though. And the holes do line up more or less, but they're not as long as the factory, but there is 2 holes that line up, so that should be enough to get us started here. So I'm going to put this in. Give me 1 second. And we're going to grab another screw. No, don't worry about it. It's fine. It'll go with the 10 other screws that are on the floor. You guys think it's the first time I dropped screws? So we're going to go nice and slow so I can bite into the PLA plastic, which is, this is a 3D printed part. We produce our own parts here. We find these models online. They're free to use, and we're able to cost effectively bring you these computers, because if I had to go buy another floppy drive, they're like 50, 60 bucks. And I don't want to steal from another machine. Like, you could show on the shelf real quick, because then that doesn't let the other machines live. So you may find some of our computers don't have floppy drives for that reason, because of their age and just stuff stops working over time. So you see now, it's got a tiny bit of movement, but I mean, it's not much at all. So that's enough to just, if it's not being pushed on especially. So now we're going to go in here, and I see little like hooks that go into here like this. So we got to be really delicate with it. You guys are getting a free tutorial if you ever have to work on a computer like this. Just be very observant, careful. Like if I'm not there to help you, whatever. If you're not in New Jersey or you're like California or somewhere. Right, so I'm going to slide that in. And it seems like it's actually hitting the front. So what that tells us is that it's a little too far up, actually. Don't worry about that. Just a little metal retainer fell. They're not important. It's like a little metal thing. What is it? Well, anyway, it's in there now, so we'll just get that out later. I'll take care of that, but actually if I do this, yep, there it is. Sometimes a little, it just keeps tension on the floppy drive, but we're not putting a floppy drive in, so it doesn't really matter. Give me 1 second to get it out. Yeah, this thing, you know. Just like junk. Alright, so we gotta move this back a little bit, basically, is what this is telling me. And I think about where those back holes line up, as you can see they were used as well, might be our answer. So sometimes you gotta just mess with it, test fit. If I need to, I'll drill a hole in this, and you guys can watch that as well. Basically, the idea is we gotta move this back a little bit. But the holes didn't even crack. This is great filament I use. If you guys are wondering what it is, I think it's, I forget the name of it, but if you message me on my email, I can definitely let you know what it is. Polymaker, I think? I don't remember, honestly. So let's just test fit this with 1 screw barely in. Because I want to see, I think we might just have to drill custom holes for this. Alright? So let's see, we're going to screw this in right here. Getting it started is the hardest part. So once we get it started, it's pretty straightforward. Goes right in. I'll just do 1 screw for now, just for testing. Just to see. Alright, so now we're going to slide it back in and see what it does. If there's a little bit of gap, that won't be too bad. It just needs to like make it so like a ton of dust, other things can't fall in there, you know, to protect it. So there's a cable in our way. We'll move that out of the way, and then we'll see how that result is. and now it's too far back, see? So now we'll need to find some happy medium for that. So if this was too far out, so we're going to look at it basically, and we're going to do some custom modifications here. I see Matt's getting all excited. So we're going to have to pre-drill the hole, not anything crazy. Basically, when it was mounted here, I didn't expect to do some fabrication today, but I don't mind. So it was too far out, right? And when the original floppy was mounted, let's see how close it was, for reference. Yeah, like a little bit. So, and this is not much different than the original face, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's somewhat of a difference. I'm just trying to compare, so give me one moment. Yeah, it's out by like a centimeter, maybe. I wonder why it didn't fit. Let's double check that, because this is pretty much an identical piece of plastic to what was in with the original floppy. Worst comes to worst, we could just take the button off and just leave it as a placeholder, you know. But I don't like to do that because then it could be deceptive into like, hey, there's a floppy in here. Why is it not work? A floppy disk. Why is it not working? You know.
Right, right.
If it's a piece of plastic, you know, oh, they were just blocking it off. You know, like that's not. Before you say, oh, Michael, that's a hack move. Yeah, you know, like people have been doing block offs for years. I mean, hell, Matt, show them one of those desktops behind you there. I bet you one of them's got a block off in it of some sort. So
What's these guys on here?
Yeah. So I got this Dell here. Pardon the mess. You see this? Mike, there's no block off in here. Oh yeah? Oh, don't do that. That's metal block off right there, buddy.
Right, right.
Because you either have your DVD drive, and don't pardon the dust on this, I didn't refurbish this one yet. You'll see it in a future video.
Right.
But that's your block off. But you see how it's starting to bend a little bit? I could break that off in there and add a new thing in the future. Right. Which is the same with this. That's why block offs exist. So this is not something new I'm creating. And same with if you put hot glue on a connector in a computer. Don't go into a power supply. But let's say you go into a power supply. How many times are you gonna see things are glued in there, components? It's just a way of making sure that things don't come loose, especially when I do the SSD conversions for our desktops here. Okay. So it's hitting a little bit, yeah, but it's like an inch too far. Yeah, definitely. Oops, sorry about that. I didn't mean to make so much noise. Yeah, so what we could also do is just do another hole there, but I'd prefer not to do that. So we'll just have to double check our clearances here. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm going to just drill it, move it back a hair, you know? If it's a little recessed, it won't be too bad, so we'll just see if we can drill it a little bit. So I'm going to squeeze by Matt again. Get my little drill and just carefully drill it. I have a little hex drill bit somewhere in here. There we are. Get a really skinny one if I can. If I have the option. Or I have something else. Let's see. Nope. Let's see. Somewhere it's in here.
Let's take a look here.
Oh, hi. So I'm just trying to find. My tool's a little bit of a mess. Pardon that. Well, they're not too bad. Just, you know, general tomfoolery. But yeah, so right now we're looking for our lovely. I mean, I saw a drill bit in here that would work, but oh, I have my drill right here. That's right. So I got some lovely drill bits here. Don't mind all the mess that they made when they spilled and got in the grass and whatever when I was outside using them. Yes, I do other projects. I don't know if you'd be interested in that. I highly doubt it, but okay. So,
We're interested. Nice.
Anyway, you can show them the saw up there too if you want.
Where's that at? Oh, right.
It's a wood shop here, right?
No. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move this back. You can come a little closer with the camera if you want. Just watch for flying debris. So basically, I'm gonna mark it with a Sharpie. See where I want to drill it. So if you want to come over here and show them the action. I didn't realize you'd be doing this today, but this is actually adding some excitement to the video now, isn't it? So you see, that's our hole. It's not allowing us to use this mounting hole up here. So what's great about plastic is you could drill it. So I'm just going to move it back, like maybe like an inch, or whatever, like a little centimeter, whatever that is, you know, a little unit. And then from there, I'm just going to mark it. Then we're going to take it out. So you see, that's about, we want to go a little higher, obviously, so I'm going to make it in line with that one. So, boop. Right there, so just enough where it's not going to strip into that one, you know? Because with PLA and 3D printing, it layers, and you have like little like things in here. So obviously you want to watch your fingers when you're drilling this, and I'm just going to start it real slow. We don't need anything fast. That's that. You see? And we have a little hole now. And we can test fit it. So I'm going to mount it back to this. And we're not being too destructive, and it's just a little hole to adjust it here. So, and I made it small enough where the threads can still make their own way here if they wanted to, as you'll see in a second. Oh yeah, screws right in. See? It's not loose or anything. Just nice. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't the correct way. Tight. Perfect. So now that it's back a little bit, let's see how that fits. All right. So we're going to shove all those cables out of the way, get the drill out of the way before I knock something over. I'll probably knock it over midway through video, don't worry. And then from there, we're not working in a massive warehouse here, obviously, so bear with me. Hey, look at that. Oh, come on. There we go. See, hole lines up. If we look right here, look at that.
Very nice.
And it's solid. So now we're just going to do rinse and repeat, basically. So we're going. You see, it didn't really hurt the space in between the two holes. Just some debris, but nothing too bad. So we're just gonna make sure that we're far enough away from that hole. So the closer I move it in, the better, actually. And then just boop. And hell, I can even do it while it's in there if I really wanted to use this to hold it, basically. So right there. And no, I don't want to do that only because, well, it's already in there and I don't want to take it out because plastic, if you keep drilling it or keep unscrewing it, it'll get worse. So I'm going to do it a little bit higher than what I put, just to be safe. To put it in the middle of the plastic and then move my fingers out of the way and then just... Alright, so now we got... Oh, and that's even better. You see how far away that one is from the other hole? So that's even a better hole. Because it gives you more space and lack of a chance of hurting it. But I didn't want to put it too far in. You know, it's not a science. Sometimes with these adapters, they make the holes for a different application of some sort, and they're not always perfect. So that's fine. And unfortunately, this one seems to have stripped a little bit. So I mean, it's holding in, so it's fine enough. But if you want to add a little more strength to it, what you can do is get a screw with a thicker or more aggressive threads. So I'm going to see what I have in my random screw bin because, oh, you didn't use the right screws. We're fine. So, here we're very honest. You know, you don't need the proper screw to make it work, you know. Oh, you didn't use the right screw, Michael. Life's over as we know it, you know. So I got this, some sort of weird thingamabob. You don't want it to be too aggressive because then it'll break the plastic. So you want to just go nice and slow and see how it feels. And that feels like it's biting but not hurting anything because I can do it with my fingers, you see? Yeah, and see, it's biting but it's not hurting anything, you see? You don't see any big cracks in the plastic or anything like that. So it's not ideal, but it's in the backside, nobody will see it. You guys will see it, but if it holds the thing, doesn't matter. You're not touching this block off, it's just a stylistic thing. Sometimes we gotta think outside the box here in Mortitech Solutions, you know? And then now, I mean, it'll move in the back still because you don't have any more screws holding it, but...
Wait, can you just show that again? I kind of missed the... You just move it?
Ain't going nowhere.
Oh, good.
It slides if you really push it, but...
Right.
I'm not drilling holes into the original bracket. I'm not doing it because you're going to want to use a floppy drive in here one day and it's going to be like a Swiss cheese.
Right, right.
This is just a nice, easy fix. But if I wanted, I could also maybe like add like, I don't know, some zip ties here or something. Or some hot glue just to hold it. But I don't think that's really necessary. And it's holding very well. So I'm just going to double check our other side. And what was helping the other side hold, this is probably too big of a drill bit. Next time I'll use smaller. But there was some debris in there and I actually screwed it in with it. Almost like when you have a hole that's messed up on a piece of furniture and you put dowels in it with wood glue. It gives it some of the strength back. So, if you guys know what I'm talking about or not.
It's a very interesting analogy.
But you ever seen that? They put the dowel in the stripped out hole?
I've actually heard of that. I've never done it myself, but I can...
You know what I'm talking about.
I can understand what you mean, yeah.
Alright, so you ready to see this nice new block off? Show them right in the front here. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Zoom it in. That's a nice quality right there. Oh, and it looks great. No big void. It just looks like it was always there. See?
Yeah, it really does.
That's the intention here. See? And even if it moves a little bit, you're not really going to notice from the outside anyway. And I can push it up if I really wanted. But it basically just keeps like bugs and stuff from going. You know? I mean, they can go in there if they want, but if you're looking at the computer in the front and you're like,
yeah.
you know, like, it looks good. So, we got that out of the way. Alright, let's clean up our desk a little bit here. And this is going to be, unfortunately, e-waste, because I remember we did clean this last time, if I'm not mistaken. If not, we can clean it and double check it, but 9 times out of 10 I clean this and it doesn't make a difference. You use rubbing, a high concentrated rubbing alcohol to clean the heads, and it still doesn't do anything because the floppy drive motor went bad or something. These devices are so old that oftentimes, no matter what you do, they just fail. I mean, these are like, this thing's from like 1990s, so it's, the fact the whole computer runs as good as it does is always impressive to me. But, unfortunately, at this point we don't really care, so I'm just going to bend it a little bit. I know. I could have used that back cover, Mike, and you ruined it. People make jokes about that all the time, because they're like, I watch this guy that does scrapping cars, right? And he's like, I could have used that driver door, and then they never show up for it, you know? It's a joke. Yeah, this is a clean unit. It's just defective, so unfortunately, take the plastic off it in case one of them is missing a door that I have. So, yep. And there goes the spring, so we're not going to keep anything then. It made up its mind for us. So you'll conveniently show the scrapping behind you and put a big explosion on top of this. Ready? Anyway, now we're back at the computer here. We're going to tidy up the cables a little bit now that we got everything sorted in here. So we have our cables here, and we got some zip ties right behind Matt here. And I may have a problem. I may have a few zip ties. Oh boy. You can tell it's getting late. We're making a ton of mistakes now. The unedited bloopers. Anyway. So we're going to go in here now. I'm going to lay this flat to make it easy to work on. And you see, this cable is like a rat's nest right now. It's everywhere. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of make it a little bit neater. So, kind of wrap them into each other like this. Do you have a good view?
Yeah.
Great. So, sorry. So, what we're going to do is we're going to get our zip tie under. You don't want to do them too tight, 'cause sometimes if they're pulling something, it can get disconnected or hurt the connectors. So, we're just going to do nice like that. And then I'll get my cutters. These are like side cutters. I don't know what they call them, but or cable cutters. They cut zip ties excellent. So that's a nice. That looks a lot better already, as you can see. I'll do one more down here for good measure. I like to have my computers clean, and then it makes it easier to dust them, etc., build them, etc. If you need to ever work on it, you just cut the zip ties off. You know, it's not a big deal. So we go under the cables, and then nice and long with these zip ties, so it's very easy to maneuver them. And then I'll just go like this. And if you want to make it really look nice, what you do is you cut it really low, and then what you do is you twist it around so you don't see the butt of it. So it's like
Nice.
So there's your old power supply. And I believe in the last part of the video we did measure the voltages, remember?
Yeah.
So it's been a couple days. So we measured the voltages of the power supply. Remember I had the multimeter out?
Yeah.
Yep, so I remember doing that, but I'm just double checking with the cameraman here because it's been a few days. We all have other projects to get done, so we don't always remember. I know, blasphemy, but so there we go. We're gonna zip tie all this, and we'll let you know in a second. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! No, it's something else. Cool. All right, we'll do one more just for good measure, because I know Matt's like, you can't have these loose cables. It looks really bad. Right.
No comment.
Matt, you don't like it, I know. Now, look at that. Wow. Brand new. Say it. Computer. There we go. Now all these, we throw them away. All this junk. Alright, route your cables nicely, if you so choose to. And there is a perfectly clean computer.
Very nice.
Look at that beautiful cable management. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a picture right now from the listing photo. You guys get to see behind the scenes. Don't tell anybody. Turn my flash on, get a nice angle. Show how clean this computer is. And then I'm also going to show the hard drive in all of its glory. 5¼ inch hard drive. From there, we're going to put the shell back on. I believe in the last video we did clean this computer shell, if I'm not mistaken. Looks pretty clean.
Yeah, I believe we
Even
did
has
that.
the original Compaq quality assurance sticker.
Yeah, I believe we did
I wonder
that
if they'll
at one
still
point.
honor the warranty. Honor the warranty. You know? I'm going to slide this big old shell over it. Now we go put under here. And then just gotta give it a little bit. Alrighty, and you want to make sure all your sides are not lifting up on the back here. And now that we have everything, we just give it a couple little left taps with your hammer, also known as your fist. Make sure everything's lining up right. If it isn't, you want to pull it back a little bit. The top's not lining up perfect, so I want to make sure it lines up good, so I'm just going to, like that. And there's little tabs right here to make sure they're working. So now, you see how that's nice and flat now? It's more like what it should look like. And sometimes if it gets stuck, you can get a little persuasion. When I mean a little, I mean you can get a small one first. If that doesn't work, then we'll get the big one. Rubber mallet so you don't dent the metal, but just something like concentrated just because it gets stuck. Like, you know. Sometimes if it really isn't going on, then you gotta take it off. Sometimes these tabs get bent, so you examine it. Yeah, that one looks a little low, right? So we'll come in here in the middle and just pry it a little bit. Something else is a little skinnier in there. And sometimes you gotta get something that's really skinny in there, so give me 1 second. Get a little pry tool. They call them spudgers, if you're curious. Open those up a little bit. You see that? Nice and open now. Okay. Now what we do is we put it back on. I don't know if I said this earlier in the video, but you don't always need to take the computer apart. It just depends how dirty it is. Wow, that just immediately closed.
Yeah, it really did.
I gotta fix it though, because it's not. The slides also have to. You know, sometimes you just gotta. Nothing's getting stuck, and then try to. There we go. Sometimes these things get a little warped too, so you gotta kind of make sure they go around on all sides, and then. Oh, dude. There we go. Now it's going. Oh, nope, now it's not in the bottom. You see, these things are very. I'm gonna unplug all these so I don't hurt the cables. Gotta get these things here. Now he's getting serious, right? Oh, it's got to slide in down, then it's got to go push on this a little bit because it's warped. And just, because they all do that. Don't just say, Michael's selling a warped computer, that's it. You know, no. Moretech Solutions selling a good computer, it's just that happens with age. Now you see, nice body lines all cleaned up. I'll leave that sticker on just for the hell of it. I think it's cool, but good history. So now we're going to drill on the, tighten it down. Our PC case screws, and then we'll turn it on. We gotta do driver installation and go down a checklist. Okay. From there, screw that down. Our checklist ensures that every computer gets the same equal setup. If you remember earlier in the video, we put these block-off plates in because it was like a modem card, and I don't know. One time I had somebody call me and they're like, "It's not connected to the internet. What do I do?" I'm like, why do you want to connect this to the internet? You know there's like no virus protection, and you can barely load any website resources on it unless you use like Frog Find or some retro browser plugin. And you only can do text-based then. So it's like, if you're really that desperate to use the internet, just get like a $50 Chromebook or whatever. You know what I mean? Unless you want that raw experience of using a 90s computer in 2020 to look up like your college research essay. It's just painful. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Hell, it doesn't even load Wikipedia right. I mean, There's some things in life that everybody will go through and they'll be baffled by it. You know, that's one of my moments. Like, what are you trying to use that for? You know, like, are you crazy? So you see how it's nice and mounted up. Unless someone knows the reason and they can explain it to me, I don't get it. All right, so let's turn this on. Yeah, so it makes a little wobbly thing, but an old DVD drive, it still works. Doesn't really matter. And then we're going to watch this DVD boot up. And I think if we turn off the light here, you can see the little indicators and the lights. Diskette controller error. Well, considering we removed a diskette, yes, that makes sense. So we'll do F1 save changes. And it's just the DVD drive seeking, looking for a boot disk. So as you see here, pardon me. As you see here, you got your power light, and then the hard drive light will come on in a second to let you know. No, I think all the lights work on this as well. It's a great little machine. Door's missing, but some cosmetic. You can hear that? The big old quantum Bigfoot hard drive. It's nostalgic sound to hear. Like, I could put a solid state drive in here, and then you don't have that thing. But unfortunately, we don't have a lot of like old parts like that because they're not made anymore. You want to show a dramatic Windows 98 boot? Here you go. Show it. Oh, I didn't plug the audio in. Oh no. But anyway, hold on. Can I get it in time? Can I get it? Here. We'll restart it just for you guys to see this amazing boot chime. Ready, Matt? You want to stand here in the dark?
Definitely.
This dark area here, and
the moment we've all been waiting for.
will the computer work? Let it restart. 1 second. I know it's very fast. Actually, it's not bad for an old computer. It's running pretty well. It's running on its original, almost all original parts. I didn't have to replace anything on it actually. So that did fail was not necessary for it to run. So the floppy or the other disk drive that was in it. So if you want another DVD drive, you're welcome to add one. I'm not stopping you. Good luck getting your hands in there though. That computer is tight. It's a small desktop. Not small, but there's a lot in there. A lot of big components. And like ribbon cables shoved in tiny places. It's just a nightmare. But anyway. Does anybody feel nostalgia yet? If you are, go on my eBay store. Anyway, let's get drivers. As part of our driver installation, I have a very legitimate driver disk. It was free software, so it doesn't really matter if it looks beautiful or not, but it works good. So this allows Windows 98 to use your... Because normally when you plug a USB device into Windows 98, just to give you some backstory, it'll say what's the drivers you need to use this. But in my case here, make sure you're showing the camera over here. In my case here, I want to use a flash drive to move things over instead of using a CD drive, because copy 3 drivers, then you run out of space, then this, then that, and you go and keep copying things. I like to just put it like on a 16 gig flash drive and it works. So this is the Windows 98 2nd edition USB drive drivers. So I'm going to put it in. And if you want the credits for it, it'll be right there. It's a really good driver. I love it. So if you want to show them here, Matt. So we're going to go to my computer here. So it's going to show up here. And then we're going to go into removable disk. I don't know what that is. So we're going to D here. Give it a second. Sometimes you gotta wait a second, let it load. Might take a second. That's this thing with these computers. I don't know what A is. I don't even think that's a thing that exists anymore because we removed the floppy. Just usually this works, so we're gonna have to just eject, put it back in. Now it's seeking out. Old computer thing, guys. It's actually pretty normal.
You can tell by the sound, right, Mike?
Yep. I speak to the computers.
They speak back.
Apparently. Anyway. Random screw that was just laying here, so. Let's try and just give it a second. Could our DVD drive be failing? It installed Windows 98 on here. It wasn't dying, but now it just doesn't want to read this CD for some reason. Then again, let's see how scratched up this disc is. Not great. Let's copy it off and put it on another one just to test, alright? I don't think that DVD drive's bad. Sometimes they're just finicky with what discs they accept, especially as they get older. Kind of like a picky eater, like, you know, I'm not eating that potato, you know? Mm-hmm. So but this is a new one, so it's going to be like, ooh, a disc, yay, you know? So we're going to see here. Oh yeah, it just booted right up. So it's my Windows 98 USB driver. Matter of fact, if it's so small, I can just put it on a floppy disk, so exactly what I'm going to do. Oh, but I don't have a floppy drive in there. Right, so we're going to have to use a CD. So let me check my stash over here. Oops. Anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute. That's why you get up and pick things up. You don't take the lazy route, guys, alright? How many times am I going to tell you this? Oh my god. Anyway, so I gotta find where I put my CDs now, so that's gonna be fun. This is an ongoing theme in Michael's shop. I usually don't lose things, I swear to God. I usually have them very well organized. These are DVDs, that's not gonna work. CDRs, verbatim. Yes. 700 megabytes of pure fury. Alright guys, so now that we're done with the dramatic intro there, I swear I did not mean to drop that stuff, so that was kind of just good comedic timing, I suppose. Anybody even know what comedic timing is? I paste it to my desktop here. It's just an executable. Basically, you run it and you could show them. It's a native USB disk driver for Windows 98. It's not compatible with Windows 11. I wonder why. It didn't run correctly. Alright, I was just trying to show examples. Stop it. I don't need all the help in the world now, alright? So we're going to burn it to this CD. And if it works and it works in there, then this CD is just getting old. I've been using this for a while. CDR. Yeah, alright, so put our new one in. We're going to burn it, so I like to use a power ISO for this. You know, actually I don't need to use this one. I can just go into regular disk manager. So we're going to go to DVD, like with a CD DVD player, that's the best way, and then we're going to do Win, we're going to name it Win98 USB driver. Next, and this is pretty much universal, so we're going to get rid of all this junk, we don't need any of that. We're going to move this to here, and we're going to say burn it. So show more options, burn to disk, there we go. So now it'll spin up. I said now it'll spin up. There it is. And you guys probably all know to burn a CD, so we're just going to do that. Some people are like, what the hell's a CD? What the heck's a CD, right? Like, oh. It's doing it, though. It either works or it fails, and then we got to retry this process a few times, basically. I know it's slow, but sometimes these things aren't the quickest, and Matt can always edit them down, so. Isn't that right, Matt?
Gotta show him everything, man.
He's a believer in letting it be raw like this, like just
Yes.
the silence of the basement combined with.
We got
You
it.
successfully burned your files to the disk. Place your bets. You think it's gonna work? Or do you think the DVD drives?
Man, I guess I'm gonna say yes.
I think so too. I think this installed Windows 98 on the computer. I don't know why. Let's see. Nope. You hear that? Sometimes that works. Now, okay, this DVD drive's being finicky, so I think we may have to replace that as well. But interesting enough, I think it'll run like a. Like, how about this test driver disc that's like properly made by a manufacturer, like this Netgear disc that I just have laying around because I had no other use for it. So let's see. I bet you it'll run that perfectly. And if not, then it's just intermittently failing. And it may only like they call them finished discs that are made by like a company. It shouldn't matter though. Yep. You might just not like my modern disk that I created, because look, it runs this driver disk perfectly. Netgear Resource CD. Yeah, it's a fine DVD drive. It's just being finicky with what disks it takes. So what do you think, Matt? You think it's a bad DVD drive or no? I've seen them. I've seen a lot of computers where they're kind of like finicky, you know.
Yeah.
Like where it's like I don't want to use that. Oh, it's also just a CD. It's a CDR, so it could be something to do with the recordable function of it. This just says compact disc and DVD. It doesn't say anything about rewritable, not recordable. My apologies, but you get the point.
Right.
Maybe we give it a second, see what it does, but might have to think outside the box here. Polymaker Polyterra PLA Muted White. That's what the PLA is called. It's right in front of me. Muted White. It looks like a nice beige. I mean, look, that's it right there. Couldn't even tell unless I told you. Unless you really look at it and you're like, that's not original. I don't know. So in this case, when we have this issue, we may need to go around it. Because we could still, this DVD drive still does work, even if it is a little bit noisy. I'm not gonna not use it, you know, and I'm not gonna not sell it because it's a working drive. It just doesn't like homemade discs for some reason. Which I've actually, believe it or not, I've sold computers like that and I've seen them before. It's just a weird quirk, believe it or not. But if I get you, I swear, if I get you another, but it booted off my 98 thing. And look, what if I give it this LaserJet printer thing, right? Right, so we'll give it this, just a proof of concept. So I know you guys are saying, that's a bad DVD drive. No, it isn't. It's just these older computers are finicky with what they take. Well, I have no idea. Maybe it's just an old DVD drive, but all these computers have old DVD drives. They're 30-year-old computers, so. Yep. LJ100, yep, that's it. It did not like that I ejected that before it was done. Put it back in, please. Alright, fine. It's not happy. So we'll just give it a second. Give it a second to spin up. There it is. It just didn't like that I ejected it so quickly because it's trying to read off it and run the program. So just to make it happy, I'll run the program to install this printer that we don't have. But I might get the printer one day, guys, so don't call me a hoarder, okay? Just don't look around us. Oh, the clock animation. This is just great. When did this video become into like a retro tech exploration? That wasn't the intention of this video, but it's kind of how this is ending up. I thought it was just like refurbishing this computer, but now it's like a whole lesson here. Is there a task manager in Windows 98? I swear there is, yep. Boop. There we go. Also, my computer can be closed as well, and then I can eject this. Good. Okay. See, that does work fine. So in that case, we'll have to go around it a little bit. So sometimes you gotta think outside the box. So in this case, we're gonna put a temporary floppy into the computer by taking the back panel off that we just so meticulously put on. So we're gonna shut this down. So we're basically going to need to manually load the files on there, okay? So the best way to do that is if it's only 900 kilobytes, like that tiny program, basically what we'll do is and that speaker wine's actually normal, believe it or not. I've seen that on a lot of old computers too. They just weren't as refined as, and plus this is at full volume. If you lower it a little bit, you get rid of all that whine and hiss. And it's just old computers just being finicky like that. It's not, you can't, it's like saying you have an old car and you want it to like run a 0 to 60 like a modern car. It's not going to do it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, not to digress, what we're going to do next is basically put a floppy drive in that and then copy the files over from there onto a blank floppy, okay? So right now I'm going to take this side panel off again. And plus I need to actually look at the computer motherboard. I just want to test this fitment because we need to find the graphics driver. And no, this drill does not. This screwdriver. It's actually a screwdriver. It's an electric screwdriver from Milwaukee. Does not hurt the case at all. It's actually good for it to get torqued down because it allows it to be safe in transit if I am going to when I am going to ship it, unless someone local buys it. Which I've had on occasion for like tube TVs and things like that. So I'll just put this over here. So what we're gonna do is get that floppy cable from earlier. I didn't think we'd be using that so quick, right? So then we're gonna go right in here. You're gonna look for the keyed entry to it. So that would be this way. Come in here. You guys are not gonna be able to see what I'm doing. I can't even see what I'm doing, so I just do it by feel sometimes. Yep. This is really tight fit. That's why I said if you want to add stuff to this case, you're more than welcome to, because it's very compact, so it's very hard to get in here. I'm doing all this just to make sure that you guys can use a USB flash drive on here. I really care about you guys. You know, it's just what I do. But yeah, no, I'm serious. I do care about my customers, and
but yeah, but you're also giving a thorough explanation on all your options and what's, you know.
Right. Yep. So now I just gotta line it up. 1 second. For some reason it's not going in, so I have to figure that out. Ah, there it is. You know in that feeling when you feel like you just got it in, yeah, that's it. So that just lined up nicely. So now we have our data, and then we just gotta get our power, which is probably zip tied now if I had to guess, because we just did all the nice cable management. So let's just figure out where he's hiding. That's still usable enough. We'll just go like this. So yeah, sometimes we have to just have the computer manually open like this. And this little pink line means facing to power, if you didn't know that. So there's your power. So typically you'd face it to that. But sometimes there's an exception where if you have the little nub right there, that means you gotta do it the opposite way. It's not always universal, I guess, what they say. So turn that back on. You'll recognize this new floppy disk that I'm giving it. And then we'll go over here to my assortment of random floppy disks. And don't leave your hammer on the keyboard. Otherwise they'll start yelling at you. It's kind of intuitive, Matt. You should have told me. And we'll just make sure this works. So I just have random Elron software. Firewall. Does anybody need a firewall floppy? Now on immortatech.com for sale. No. So we're just going to tape over the write protection hole so we can write over it, as I just said, but yeah. So because it doesn't have the little nub on it. You guys probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Alright, so I'm going to format this real quick while you guys watch the computer do the lovely old do-do-do-do-do. Yeah. I never get sick of that. It's a great chime. Even though I didn't grow up with that boot chime and everything like that, I don't get sick of it. I really do enjoy it. It's a cool retro thing. And I can understand why people are so sentimental about it. I'm of the age where I grew up with XP computers. I know Matt probably grew up with these computers, right?
Yeah, I mean, I started really getting into it later, though. I mean, it wasn't until I was like 16 that I really started.
So you were like doing XP computers anyway? Kind
of, yeah.
I always had an XP computer when I was really young, so.
Yeah.
This is kind of like a little old for us, even.
Yeah, it is.
That like purplish one over there, that gray or whatever, you could show them that. That'll be a future project we could do. I also have an E-machines on the floor. That's an XP machine. Yeah, the hardest part is finding applicable drivers. So while that's formatting and testing the floppy drive, the floppy disk that we're going to use to copy, I'm going to look in here and see what our graphics driver is. So I see the ESS audio drive chipset right there, which tells us, if you want to show them, right in there, you see that little ESS thing upside down by the two white ports? That's your audio chip, so that'll tell us what we need to get for audio drivers. But the audio already seems to be working, so it may have already found it. As ESS got bought out by Creative, I don't know, it's... Yeah, ES1869, so it has the audio drive drivers already. But the display adapter is standard PCI. So we need to determine what it actually uses. So if I look in here, amidst all the cables, I keep looking. Eventually I'll see the big old chip right there. So I'm going to stick my hand in here. Don't do it while it's running, obviously, but don't do what I'm doing. So basically, you're looking for your AGP set graphics. Yep, so AGP set FW82443EX. Write that down. So now I gotta go. I'm gonna try to take a picture of it if I can. So stick your phone in there. Yep. Oh yeah, it's gonna be easy to read. No, it will not be easy to read. Nope. Try this again. You get the floppy drive just going wild over there on my other computer. And yes, I installed a floppy drive on my modern computer. They make USB adapter cards. Link in bio. No, there's no bio. You guys get the joke there because famous YouTubers. And then you got me having like 30 views. But it's alright. I appreciate all you guys anyway. So make sure you like and subscribe so I can keep giving you guys this content. Is that like a plan? Alright, now let's see if that's readable. Yes, it is. So there's your chip. That'll tell you what graphics driver you need. But to make it easier, I want to have the USB driver. So how are we doing over here? It did work. So now we have a great, brand new floppy drive. No, it's a used thing I got from the e-waste guy that's like, you can have it, I don't want it. And I'm like, I don't want it either, but I need it. So, like SpongeBob, I need it! With the water. Does anybody know about that? Comment below if you know what I'm talking about. The pop culture reference there. But, yeah, so we're going to copy this thing to the new floppy drive. All right, and then show them as it's making the noise. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And while that's doing that, see, it's going to copy now. 969 kilobytes. I know that's just a really like heavy load for that floppy drive. No, it's 1.44 megabytes. So now we're going to make a label for it that says Windows 98 SE. It's only on the second edition, I think, that it works right properly. I don't put first edition Windows 98 because it's not. It has more bugs and stuff. Anyway, Windows 98 SE USB drivers. I'm gonna say USB flash drivers. Like so, you know, it's like for like flash drives, and then print. And my lovely used thrift store find, Quest Diagnostics. Look at that old logo. Dymo has jammed again. So we'll just do that, and then it'll work perfectly. Why? I have no idea, but if it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what they say, Matt? And while we're waiting on that, you can see that this thing is, oh, it's already copied. Oh, no, now it crashed. That's fine, don't worry about that. So while that's, proceedingly crashing...
Alright, let's, come back.
Oh, one more thing. We also gotta find the driver still.
Right. So we'll come back when we have that. And we'll see you soon.
Yep. Alright, we're back. Just a brief, like, 5-second intermission, just to let you know what we're doing here. Windows 98 is installing currently, so we'll keep you posted, but it's a very slow process. Probably takes about a half hour to an hour. It's saying 36 minutes right there, but... So I don't want to keep you guys here, and you're just like, I gotta stay here and watch paint dry, so... I'll bring you back in a little bit.
We'll be back.
After my long rant with royalty-free music, you probably had an awesome jump cut there. We did get this working with the burn test 3.2. We're going to get the loopback connectors that are actually proper for this application, not these random ones. So I'm going to order those from Passmark. They've been very helpful, those guys in Australia. So I got the Netgear test disc in here, which is for testing. So we're going to do the start on this test. And it's going to open up all these different things, which is basically like music. It'll play some like different music files and things like that. And it's also going to test that it's writing to the hard drive. It's also testing the CPU and the memory. So this is going to do a full test for the computer. So we're just going to let this load now. So far, no errors. And the reason we're not doing the graphics test is because we need DirectX, and we also have to install that. And it's not needed for just basic computer tests. Because someone needs to install that with their game, they'll do that in the future. So, yeah, we put the side panel back on the computer here. So when we get these ports back in, we'll let you know if there's any other updates, but otherwise, if we don't say anything, it's working great. So, thanks for tuning in to this long-winded episode of Immortal Tech Solutions, where we took apart this whole computer from top to bottom just for your entertainment. We don't always do that for refurbishments. And then we put it all back together, put proper block-offs in it, you know, cleaned it, Made it really nice looking. And I'm tired of this damn audio, so let's... Alright, that's got the perfect photo right there. So yeah, it's reading from my Netgear test disk. And this computer's working great. So hopefully we'll get this on the eBay store in the next week or two. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Hey, Mike, thanks for your knowledge, man. You did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
All right, man.